Hello, welcome everybody.
Guten Abend, wie geht's, mein Freund?
All right. So, I do believe that the last we left off, some things transpired with wild shape and beans and not small goblin. Would anyone care to elaborate?
Those goes.
I had to pee during that part, so
Morgana or
yeah.
Darius? Speak
Well, I
up.
mean, we could work from the back. The last thing that happened, which was that Greg got a mammoth,
Yes.
A woolly mammoth.
a freaking
Yeah.
woolly mammoth.
Natural 20s, ladies and gentlemen.
Which is the exact reason why I haven't gotten a woolly mammoth, because I haven't rolled almost a single 20 in the last 3 times I played.
That is surely the only reason. Okay. Let's see. Who
So we have a
else?
former god turned to woolly mammoth and a pet. So that's one less threat.
Mhm.
We still have worms to work on,
Mm-hmm.
and that's about it, right? The flooding's done. The sky's clear.
You do have a city center full of panicked and infighting civilians.
Mm-hmm.
Also,
Right.
weren't there more members of the triumvirate that we didn't defeat? Or did we beat all of them?
one of them you knocked out. The other became a woolly mammoth. The third wasn't there when you guys arrived. So.
Oh, interesting.
Number 3 is missing.
Mm-hmm.
Dun,
Dun it. Number 3 is Jaws.
Oh no.
dun,
Wait, wasn't it the water one?
dun, 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 dun,
They were
dun,
all kind
dun,
of doing the
dun,
water
dun,
thing,
dun,
but
dun, dun,
back
dun.
when the attack on the city center first started, there were 3 gate portals open to the water elemental plane that broke essentially the cathedral-like building that housed the political chambers of Portwind, down to a lot of its bare elements. There's also now a massive tree growing inside with the combined blessing of Melora and Arathis.
Oh.
Yes.
And Bellman was teleported to a different plane for a minute because he bothered Ramu, and Ramu couldn't decide if he or the fellow you guys don't know was more of an issue, etc., etc. Olron got pretty banged up. Iris appeared. A lot of the NPCs that you guys have seen are around now, but not all of them. There are still some people that you don't know who they are missing.
Where's Nomi?
Mm-hmm.
I demand to know where Nomi is.
I was actually wondering where she was as well. So that's interesting. Probably for different reasons, though.
You know what? I don't
What?
need your sass, Pam.
I don't need your.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
That's right. Yeah, you got nothing.
What, my love
Pam.
and heartfelt want
Okay.
or something?
But what was I even going to say? I've forgotten. There were 750 civilians who were working on getting out from within the outside of city center walls based on the rolls that you guys made to assist or harm these attempts. Different people got out or stayed in. It was I rolled a d75 each time, and then depending on whether you guys assisted or did not assist, you rolled what would basically be a percentage die, 50-50 if you didn't help, raising the chances if you did help so that more people could escape. We went through 2 rounds where we did that. And I know that I think 55 people escaped, and then 30... and then some did not. I'm remembering a lot of numbers.
So that means we still have people to save, right?
Yes. So out of 750, math children, please help me. There were 2 groups of 75 people. 45 got saved out of the first one, and then 10 got saved out of the second one.
Slow down.
So 50. So 55 minus 55.
55 were saved.
Yeah.
When we
55
when did we start with?
750.
Okay. And then 55 were saved.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
How many weren't?
So that means there's
95.
Yes.
695.
Now, 95 does not necessarily mean immediately doomed. It just means currently unaccounted for, which could be bad, but we'll see.
So
Wait.
55 out of
It's
750.
not. It's not 750. It's less than that, right?
Well, 750 was the total number of civilians in the area.
Oh.
I was giving like 10% of them could get out each time. So that's why it was 75. So 75 minus 75 minus 75.
Oh, these mechanics. I don't. My brain hurts.
I'm the one
Yeah,
who
Do
made them
enough
up,
math.
so let me.
It's
Uh,
cool.
Yeah, let me mess with this. My sweet kids. Okay. So there's 600 civilians left.
Oh, okay. That's a lot.
Uh-huh. So,
and I'm leading a batch out my way.
this is
Yes, you are.
correct.
Mhm.
Darius went down to the bottom level of the city center after Ramu, Bellman, and Unknown Man in Black Leathers got so inspired / intimidated by Vorgana up top, they decided to work together instead of being patoots. Darius started leading people off to some political chambers to the side that were above where the waters and broken up ground were. Yeah, and then Gregna adopted a woolly mammoth. So,
Named Joseph Swanson.
Yes.
yes.
Joseph
Just randomly,
Swanson.
for no real reason.
For no
Yeah.
apparent reason.
There's no connection to the real world, if that's what you were thinking.
Yeah.
Viewer. I'm looking at you.
I mean, why would we?
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly.
All right. So, since we left off that time because I could not function as a human being after that, that means that we stopped in the middle of the turn order, and the next people in the turn order are the medium NPCs. So, that is the civilians and the tree growing. So,
Ooh.
Wait, the NPCs, the trees and NPC?
medium NPCs. Well, yes.
Awesome.
The tree, like, grows on the turn with the quote unquote neutral movements of the rest of the people.
Interesting.
Which is helpful and also not, because as it grows, the roots that are springing up in the ground of the city center council are like breaking up stone and making it harder for people to get out in the big.
Oh, so we should chop down the tree.
I
Set the
believe that.
tree on fire.
I believe.
No.
Yeah, I don't think we should chop it down.
Yeah, I
That's
think
a
I
bad
was like,
idea.
we should chop down the tree, and I. don't
That's
think I
what
was-
started this whole thing.
Yes.
That's yet to be proven. Also, history
I-
repeats itself.
I'm slightly enfeebled, and I know that's a bad idea. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh, wow.
That's true. You were given a temporary arraignment from your enfeeblement spell, but you know
Nope.
that will go away
Nope.
in a few
Nope.
hours.
What do you mean
With
no?
all
Are you
this-
taking back your Oliver roll?
Speaking of which, everyone's Oliver and Chaos rolls have been refreshed. If anyone is watching who doesn't know what those is, sorry, you'll
Yes,
figure it
Brandon.
out.
Oh,
You
that
will
was
figure it
entirely
out.
unhelpful.
I'll explain it when it comes up.
They'll get it, probably.
With this being said, since this is the medium NPC's turn, that means we're going to roll again for the civilians. And I know that Vorgana used his turn to help the civilians by sending the other NPCs down to go be helpful instead of being patoots. Darius used his turn to help civilians. And I believe your helpful NPCs help the civilians as well. I'm not forgetting anyone, correct? No,
I
because
don't
No.
think so.
I think so.
Ashoka was fighting.
No, I don't think so.
So let's give these civilians a higher chance of success. One quick
Yay.
second. I'm doing so much math.
I like that we can still look at Oliver's scribblings as a handout.
Mm-hmm. Would you care to refresh people on what that is?
It's from the very, very, very first episode when we found out that Oliver had been transferred into the world of Dungeons and Dragons. and he wrote down a bunch of notes having to do with how he thinks that the two worlds are connected, which evidently they are somehow, but we don't know how that is.
All right. Is there any other clues on that note?
Flora is real. I can't read any of the rest of the writing.
Okay.
Cracks in universe? Question mark? Question mark? Question. And then there's a 3D plane that says planes is the y-axis, and then dimensions is the x-axis, and time is the z-axis. Or that's interchangeable. So whatever you want to say for that.
Right.
Void? Question mark. Place between places? Question mark. Something else? Question mark? Question mark? Question mark? Question.
Ooh, we've been to the place between places.
We have.
Yeah.
The place between places.
Ugh.
Yes.
Okay. I remembered my math for a second.
X
So-
is 15.
Yes, thank you. I just did that. I thought it would be fun to do a little bit on the screen just to show people how fun Dungeons and Dragons is. So let's go ahead and I'm gonna roll a D
Math.
1d75. And then one of you guys gets to roll a d20, and if you roll a 15 or below, this amount of people are saved.
Oh.
Wait, say that again. I'm sorry.
So one of you can elect yourselves, or you guys can pick amongst you. One of you rolls 1d20, and then if you roll a 15 or below, the people are saved. If you want to keep it closer to Dungeons and Dragons rules, it can be anything above a 5. That 15 is just the percentage. You saw the math.
Can I go for it?
Do
Do
it.
it. Do it.
All right.
Do it.
Just don't
Let's
roll
roll
the
the
20.
night. God damn.
Use your Oliver roll. No, I'm kidding.
Can I use my Oliver roll?
Are you?
No, that's a good thing.
Chaos roll.
Wait, is it below 3
Well-
or below 5?
I think she said
That was
above,
above
5.
Well, that's the rule. It was gonna be you guys. Okay. It should have been decided ahead of time. I had asked you guys, do you want to keep it closer to Dungeons and Dragons rules, where it's above 5 or below? And most of you reacted sadly to this.
I think that's kind of telling of what we thought was going.
I thought you
on.
said it was below 15.
Yes, I
Well,
did.
she said that at first. Then she said,
Okay. How about we do
Oh.
a fresh roll? You guys tell me now. Do you want it to be closer to Dungeons and Dragons rules, where you're happy if you roll a natural 20, or do you want it to be weird and have it be happy if you roll a natural 1?
Well,
Weird.
I want it to be weird only if I'm gonna be rolling because I'm gonna not get a natural 20. I guarantee.
I am so scared right now
"Wait,
because you
All right,
said
here we
that.
go.
we haven't decided yet."
Everyone put a W in the chat for weird or an N in it for normal.
Where is
Okay.
this in the chat? I don't see-
W.
Why not?
Oh wait, okay.
This is
Are
what
you typing
happens when you homebrew mechanics, folks.
W.
I guess it doesn't matter for me, so go ahead.
All right. Am I rolling?
Ooh, no.
And you want below a 15 because you guys decided
Okay.
on weird.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
Congrats, guys.
The same number.
What are the
suck.
chances?
This is what I'm talking about. I could never get anything above a certain, like a 10 anymore.
All right.
We'll have to check later to see if you do that again, and maybe your computer's broken.
It's just a 3
Possibly.
every
Yeah,
time.
It only gets 3s.
Okay, so now I'm going to. What was that? That's that guy's health. So I'm not going to use that calculator. I have so many calculators open. Okay. 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 With that, the tree grows more and is going to make it a little bit harder for some of the NPCs to get out, but it's also literally it's broken as it started to do the last time with the very edges of its bark. It's pushed up and through this ceiling now with its central trunk, which in the coming turn will probably start to fall out or inside after some rolls about how the scaffolding is. So, after the medium NPCs, Vorgana, it is your turn.
Yeah. I forgot where I was at though.
You were hanging onto the tree that just grew more fully out of the
Oh,
scaffolding in the building.
I was trying to make it to back up to
Vincent and Pam.
yes. How far am I from Vincent and Pam? Can I start climbing?
Well,
Because the tree has been growing, the top of this building was about 300. No, the top of the wall is about 300 feet above. If you're going up through the actual ceiling now, that would have been another like 30 feet. So you're like 350 feet away from there on the ground. But you saw them descend, and then Gregnut landed on a mammoth, and now seems to be chill with it. And so you can try to start climbing down, or you can do whatever you would like.
Can I see anything else? Tree, like how many people are like? Am I close to people that still need to get out?
Make a perception check.
Okay, can do that. I just need to get this off and pull this up.
Note that with the current turn order, after this, it's Vincent, then the enemies, and then Darius. Everyone be aware.
Okay.
okay.
Interesting.
Yes,
Perception.
please. Alright, not too bad.
Nice.
Okay,
Could be worse.
so you can see, because of the way that you were literally on this tray as it pushed up through the ceiling, that a lot of the brickwork and things that are making up the parts of the ceiling are not going to stand much longer, and if there's anyone still underneath where this central dais was, or in kind of even the surrounding area, it could very easily fall on them, or it could fall outward towards the back left and right sides and cut off a possible exit way for people trying to come back around the city center. So you see that. A lot of people look like ants down in city center. You can get vague flashes of Darius, who's lit up like a Christmas tree, Ramu and them shouting and yelling. Gregnut is definitely chilling with a mammoth.
Oh my god.
This is what you can see.
I'm forgetting. Don't I, as a cleric, have an ability to shout very loud? Isn't that a spell, or am I just getting it mixed up with something else?
That is a spell. It is thaumaturgy. I don't know if you have it as a cleric. You very well might.
It's a cantrip. It looks like.
Yeah.
Yes, thaumaturgy. I'm wondering if it would be a good idea to use this, but I also don't want to make a more tremor, like in case this place is just about to go.
Mm-hmm.
I could try it and hopefully I don't kill anyone.
Sure. What is...
So hold on. Your current farm is kind of like wood and earth and
Yep.
something like that.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're hanging on the tree, don't you have some kind of advantage for anything you want to do, since you're like part of the earth and part of the wood?
An interesting argument.
I'm not arguing.
I just I mean, can I go inside of the tree? Can I stop the tree? Is that what you mean? I'm not really sure.
Or just some kind of advantage for being part of the earth and part of the wood, that kind of thing.
Oh, to get an advantage?
Yeah, or you could meld with something, or I don't know.
I could try and stop the tree from growing.
What would you like to do? Because the combat has kind of slowed to weird, still intense, but not as fast combat, why don't you describe to me what you would like to happen and any justification you think is there for this, and we can figure it out.
The thing that I want to do right now is like, I just want to make sure that everyone knows to like start exiting.
Okay.
But I don't know if that's even worth it at this point.
Would you like to make either a wisdom or intelligence check for me?
Yes, a wisdom. Actually, intelligence. Ref. Hi, Ref.
I'm gonna say it ahead of time.
Okay.
It'll be a DC 15.
Okay. Where the heck did my? Oh, here we go. Yeah, actually, no, I definitely want to do wisdom.
Okay.
Okay, I'm gonna roll it. Oh my god.
Okay.
Oh.
You feel like there's something that you could or should be doing, but you're too kind of scrambled to think of what it should be.
Much like life. I don't know. I could be stopping the tree, but I don't know if that's what I should be doing. I also don't know how to stop it.
Whatever you think
I
is
don't-
best, go with it.
Follow your heart.
You could
Can
sing
I
to
make
it.
Can I make a nature check to see if I can stop this tree or
Uh,
meld with the tree?
I'll say you could make a nature or a religion check.
Okay. They're all both about the same.
Okay.
Why am I rolling so terribly right now?
It's in your nature.
Because
Seriously.
because this tree is growing so quickly, it feels very foreign to you, even though it is natural in the same way that kind of you are natural. It's also as though you're usually at your best in combat, you feel like sometimes, which is a little bit strange as a cleric, but you don't question it. But right now it feels like there's this weird kind of extra energy zipping through you that you don't know where to put, and it's almost distracting you.
Well, I don't want to waste my turn. I also don't know what to do.
You could just start to climb down. You could jump. You could do any manner of things. You could cast a spell. You did get a pretty good vantage point. You can also see out into kind of the wilds that you guys hadn't really visited before, aside from the first time you guys met Iris. That is back behind city center. So what is kind of almost north of Portland, you can see the start of that.
Okay.
I wish I could have two pictures. I'm silly. Of course I can. What am I talking about? 1 second. Wish I could have two pictures at the same time. Do you? Do you really? You who has control of this thing?
You who has control.
I like you.
Okay.
Yeah, I think I want to use thaumaturgy to help people escape, maybe even to warn people that the one area might be falling down soon.
Okay. Go ahead and cast your spell slot and tell me what you want to yell, and then we can roll a performance or check or something of that nature.
We could do something along the lines of like, "Hey, everyone, we need to get out of here, but we also need to, not." I don't know how to say this with any kind of class, but we need to not make sure we go through that one way. Maybe we can make another way through, or if anyone has any bright ideas. But this tree is coming down. They're gonna bring everything down. So we need to get the hell out of here.
Okay. With that all being said, very loudly, I want you to make a. You can tell me if it's I'll let you pick whether it's performance or persuasion, and whichever it is, it's at advantage because you use thaumaturgy.
Okay, that's good because they're both -2.
Oh boy.
You can
All
do
right, I'll
it.
do my first roll.
Okay, not bad.
Okay, not bad, not bad. Come on, give me a 20.
All right.
Well,
Okay. You kind of are still. You almost settle yourself onto a branch, so you're not gripping onto it anymore. You're more sitting on it or kind of crouching on it, looking around. And even as this tree is still kind of growing towards the end of your turn, you see some of the people that are really starting to look like ants now down below start to kind of move out of the way of where the dice would have been inside the building, and even some of
Scurry.
the people on the edges of the building kind of try to push forward a little bit more urgently, including those near the side where Gregnut dropped his 2 different beans, and those near where the big bubble of darkness still is.
I'm now realizing I should have jumped off when I had a chance.
You can still you can still use your movement. You can still do that.
Can I? Can I try something? I don't know if I have enough movement or actions to do like a thing where I jump and then I have my axe or my quarter? Wait, no. Don't I have an axe? Yeah, I have an axe.
You do.
Do you have a hammer?
Why am I? Oh, I'm looking at Ashoka's. God. Oh my God.
Oh my
This is
gosh,
terrible. It says Veronica. How did that even?
Huh.
What?
That's weird.
No, I'm just confused. I think I used the wrong thing. I'm sorry, y'all.
It's all right.
It's okay.
No, what? I was like, why is my wisdom so good? Okay, so yeah, I have Charles for him. I wanted to see if I could jump and have Charles and stick Charles in not too deep, so I'm like sliding down with Charles down the tree.
Okay, I would like you to make a either. I think I want you to make.
Do not kill the tree.
I think I want you to make a dexterity check to see if you can graze the tree with your axe to slow your fall without doing permanent damage to it.
Oh man, this is gonna suck. Okay. Also, I was just gonna lightly graze it. You know how like people will cut into a tree like
Lightly.
M plus T equals heart.
Yeah.
Yes.
Who's the M&T?
Ooh, wow, my dexterity wasn't that bad.
All right.
M is
Yeah.
for Mercedes, C is for Cody.
Aw.
Oh, I thought you said M&T.
I thought you said that too.
plus
And then when you said M is for Mercedes, I got really scared. It's like, who's the T?
thaumaturgy.
All right. It goes in a
That
little
makes
bit deeper than you intended, but you don't immediately go into free fall. And now you're kind of, I'll say, at half falling speed, coming down the side of this tree. So if you were 30 feet up from where the wall started, you'll make it to the top of the wall that they were on previously within this turn. So you.
I know I might be hurting this tree, but I look awesome.
And
Coming down this tree like a badass.
you do look pretty cool, I will admit.
Yes.
All right, and that's going to be the end of your turn, Vincent.
Yes.
What would you like to do? You're flying. You're gonna be weird soon, and Gregnet just made a friend.
Pam was like riding me like a horse at one point, right?
She's spider monkeying onto you.
Yes.
Okay.
A horse? What do you remember?
You said you kicked me with your spurs, and I neighed and everything. Remember it? I very distinctly remember this.
But I'm still on your back though. That's not a horse.
I'm surprised that you do not remember that.
I do, but it's not a horse.
If that is un-horse-like to you, I don't understand what your definition of horse is. Anyway, I go seeing Gregnut has tamed the mammoth. I fly towards the worms to fight them.
Okay. Your
Because I'm like, okay, these people need more saving.
okay. Your fly speed is 60 feet per round.
Dang.
If you use your full action to double dash, it'll take you one. If you're going around instead of up and in the building, it'll take you 2 rounds to get to where the purple worms are at a double dash. Is this acceptable to you?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. So you just use your term, oh, he's good here? Zoom! Pam, you're on his back just like, and then, okay.
No, I'm sure he uses a different
Oh.
scream.
Ah! That's my scream. Can I fire my crossbow at one of the worms? Am I in range to do that?
If you go 120 feet, what's the
Range of my crossbow?
Yes, please. Thank you. Words.
I do not know.
I think you can fire at disadvantage. I think you can
I
fire.
want to check just in case.
Okay.
Oh someone is like blowing a horn outside of my window or something.
Let me
It's
check.
very strange.
Uh,
Anyway, hand crossbows. Wait, do I have a hand crossbow or oh, I have a light crossbow.
Mm-hmm. Let me check. I'm pretty sure 120 is the limit of the. Oh, 320. You can shoot at one of the purple worms with disadvantage.
But all right, I'm gonna do that.
All right. Go for it.
Oh wait, and I get. Wait, it's disadvantage, right?
Yes.
Would that hit?
Disadvantage 1 sec. I'm pretty sure.
What
that
are you trying to hit?
one of the purple.
One of the purple
planes.
worms.
I see.
Nice. Okay. Purple worms. So did you do it twice?
No. I was just wondering if the
13
first one.
does not hit.
Oh.
Okay.
Wait,
So
I get 3 attacks. So I'm just gonna keep firing my crossbow at it.
all right. Pew. Nope.
Dang it.
One more
None of these hit?
Oh,
because they're at
Oh.
disadvantage.
are you
Also does
serious?
not hit.
Gotta be kidding. Oh well.
All right.
No.
I
You see
tried.
one of them goes into the dark bubble and you hear ah inside. Let's see.
Sorry.
Oh no.
All
They
right.
weren't bad shots. They just didn't hit the worm.
I was giving you something for the natural 20 question mark. I don't know.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
So it was bad boy. Okay.
In theory. With that, it's going to be the enemy's turn. So there's one purple worm that hasn't been hit at all. There's one that was pretty messed up. The one that hasn't been hit is going to come up out of the ground. I'm sorry I don't have a more accurate battle map, but such is life. It's going to be roughly... Come here, please. Destroy the ground up and around here. For reference, everything over here is all manner of messed up. And a dark bubble is...
Wait, is that where the bestiary is?
roughly
Are
around
there just
here.
like a bunch of wild beasts and creatures?
You're not sure, because right now there's a big old bubble of darkness. Of like
no.
magically made darkness right over here.
Oh.
Which is what you shot into. But the purple worm pops its head up, and it's going to... Is it going to try to go for a Shokin Olron, or is that too far away? Actually, you know what the purple worm is going to do? It starts to kind of turn kind of towards where the entrance of the area over there. But then whoever's close in this area, Pam and Vincent make perception checks.
Daddy.
My specialty. Huh. Oh
Nice.
wow, that actually wasn't bad.
All right.
Well, way to show me up, Pam. Thanks a lot.
That's what I do best, buddy. Old buddy, old pal.
There
Oh,
seems to
that
be
thing.
almost like a weird... The ground is shaking a lot because of purple worms and violence and all manner of things, but it feels almost like a specific pulse goes through the ground for a second, and you guys notice it because some of the area specifically around the dark bubble shakes, and the purple worm turns its head and then goes into the dark bubble. And you hear more yelling from inside. The other purple worm that has been hurt is going to try and attack Olron again, because it wants to finish its meal. Let's see. Plus 14. Let's battle hit. One with his bite, one with his stinger. Olron, where are you? Your AC is not higher than 31. Olron's AC is 17.
Oh,
So that's going to be 3d8 plus 9 piercing. Welcome to the Danny rolling against herself. Gosh, mother.
I'm sorry, Grant.
It's
I've
alright.
done that before.
That's 30 points of damage. And then
oh no.
for the stinger, it's 29 is also definitely going to hit. 3d6 plus
No,
9.
I venture to say that he's already damaged. He can't do both attacks.
That's not how that works. If you got up from being damaged, you would still have all your actions. Unless you want to make a roll about it.
True.
I think Oleron should take a roll about it.
Olron doesn't have void rolls.
Ooh, unless.
Overroll.
Can I
Do it.
use my void roll to give Auron void roll? No, I'm kidding.
Give him
We
To
did that
reverse-
for Greg Nut, didn't we?
Greg Nut is a weird
No.
circumstance.
I don't think Greg
Greg Nut is a
has void rolls.
creature from beyond.
Okay.
Wait, does he?
Olron takes 50 points of damage. And he's
Ooh,
automatically
Olron.
fails. And he falls to the ground unconscious and is swallowed by the purple worm.
Ah!
No!
Auron, no.
Oron!
So he gets to attack and sting and swallow? That's not fair.
The purple worm is a gargantuan monstrosity. Do you want me to
That's 3
read?
attacks.
Multi-attack. The worm makes 2 attacks. One with his
I make
bite
3
and one
attacks,
with his
so-
stinger.
Dang.
Yeah.
He multi-attacked him.
At this, Ashoka starts to look panicked, and Iris, who's still somewhat... I'm going to see if she sees this, because that will have an effect on things.
Iris,
my God.
Iris. Come on, Iris.
It's not her turn yet. I'm just rolling to see if she sees.
Oh.
This is full on BS.
She does not currently notice.
No. No.
Okay. Someone else. Villain's turn. Where's my other cat sheet? Someone else that you don't know does
Ooh.
something.
Wow.
NPCs we don't know, we have to get them onto our squad.
Yeah.
It's
Oh
unacceptable.
my gosh, stop.
Okay.
All the
Someone.
people from the wilds.
Someone take a note that there's a downer percentage of survival for NPCs at the next.
Oh
Check.
no.
Worse for civilians because villainy. And then I'm just going to roll something else real quick. Or let me propose this to you guys.
Okay.
What should we roll to determine whether or not the civilians in this crowd are acting purely for their own self-interest or are trying to help each other? Or is that contained within the percentage rolls that we do to see how many of them get out?
Yeah.
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
I think since we're all helping the citizens, we're not attacking the citizens.
Okay.
Mhm.
I think they get the message and they're all trying to help one another.
All
I
right.
would hope so.
Okay. That is the end of all the enemies' turns. Darius, it's your go. You've got a troop of people from inside this place that are soaked, some of them bloody, but they're following you up these stairs. What would you like to do?
From where I am and the people are, can I safely get them out, or can I go help Ron, or what?
Make a perception check.
I will gladly do that.
Okie doke. Helping the people you're
Okay.
currently with will be easier than helping Olron, who you probably aren't aware of. But if you get a really high perception, okay.
Oron, who was probably dead.
No, don't say that.
Just kidding, I'm sorry.
Auron.
Okay. So you can see pretty easily that the steps that you're starting up now, there are passageways lining either of the edges. Allow me to draw some bad things really quick for you. So the room is kind of shaped like this. The stairs go up to here, and then there's rooms kind of lining on either side here. And you're not sure where any of them in particular leads. This one is busted open. And these
Which
other
one?
two...
The one with the X?
Yes. And these others look
Okay.
fine. You're roughly here. You can get to any of these doors within the movement of your turn.
And how many people are with me?
I'm going to say 11 people.
That's it? Just 11? Okay.
Currently, that's because those are literally the ones that fit on the steps behind you.
All right. Well, then I'm going to go thaumaturgy, right?
To yell?
To say, well, no, this time I'm going to use it to open the door.
Okay,
The closest one to me.
that would be this.
So we can, yep. Open the door, and I'm going to tell everybody, follow me. Let's go. Let's find out where this goes.
All right. Are you trying to be careful as you enter, or are you just rushing in?
I'm trying to be careful. I'm just trying to go get somewhere.
Okay, so you use thaumaturgy, bust open the door, lead with your lighted cape from behind, with people trekking after you. Please make another perception check as you move through, just to try and find a way out through this hallway that you've now entered in. I'll say it took like 10 feet of your movement just to get, or you know what, you were on the stairs already. It took, you still have all of your movement past the space, you just have to understand what it is first. Okay. You are not taking this in much. It seems like a hallway that leads to some offices with a thick carpet on the floor, and then a bunch of torches that have been kind of blown out on the wall, save for one at the very end. And you just rush down. So this purple circle is not where this is. It's within over here, just so you guys know. But this is just for your guys' perspective. And so you basically go 15 feet, or not 15, you go your full movement speed down the hallway, and all the people that were on this house with you make it in through the door to...
Okay.
Dave.
So relative safety.
They are out of range of anyone actively attacking, the water, the roots, and the worms. So yes.
Okay.
Is there any bonus action you would like to do?
Well, I've got a question. So can I tell them just to stay here and go back and get more people?
I will say that as a bonus action, I was going to say as a bonus action, you can command one or two of the people that you've helped us save if you want them to assist you in any way. If that is just to make sure that people stay here, you can do that.
All right. I'll tell them, stay here, check down the hall if you can, see if we can find a way out. I'm going to go back and get more people.
Oh, you got it. You got it. This younger half-orc dude with a broken tusk kind of, like, awkwardly salutes you and then, like, rushes down the hall to be like,
Help one another.
You
Okay.
heard him, help one another. Okay.
So I head back down the stairs.
Okay. And at the next turn, you can go ahead and collect even more people. All right.
Okay.
Thank you, Daniel.
Pretty weak. All right.
You're actively helping people. I do not think that counts as weak whatsoever. Literally, because you're helping people, I will take them off my list of civilians who can possibly be harmed.
Awesome.
How's
I'm
that?
going to go get 10 more or 11 more.
Okay. 525 minus 11. 5, 15. 5, 14. Haha. Okay. Pam, it's your turn. What would you like to do? You are on a flying Vincent. Sorry, I did not warn you.
Okay, please, can I make a perception check to see what I see?
Yes, go ahead.
Tell me everything.
Okay. lots of stuff going on. The water is a weird color behind you that you and Vincent just floated over, and some people seem to be trying to avoid it, and some of it seems to be swirling down. You don't know what that's about. You're a little bit concerned about Rowan down below. There's a big dark bubble in front of you that you just saw a purple worm clearly like going off to attack and eat other people that were making movements, and then there was a specific vibration, and then like it had been called, turned into the dark bubble.
Summoned, yeah.
You saw Olron get 8. You saw Ashoka be kind of panicked about it, and you saw the Iris. You didn't really see. Iris isn't interacting with Olron, but you could see the flash of pink somewhere over there, and you can hear in like the din of all the people trying to get out of the city around you. You can occasionally hear other familiar voices within there, but you can't focus on any of them. You're riding a flying.
This is in the bubble?
Pardon?
This is in the bubble or where?
That's kind of all around you. Let me do.
Okay. How far away is Olron, the worm that ate Olron?
Let's see. If you moved 120 feet, like 80 feet.
So if I dug my spurs into Vincent to make him move 60 feet, does that count as my movement?
Vincent, do you consent to this?
But wait,
Sure.
so if I wanted to attack the worm with my whip, that if that only gets us 60 feet, that's 20 feet, and that's 5 feet off,
yes.
Right? Okay. Sorry, Olron.
Wow.
You do also see strangely colored water swirling down near one of the edges. That would be because it was a yellow bean. It's over here. You can't quite see, but some of the water over here is kind of... It's almost like hazy, and it's kind of starting to swirl down.
So, okay, if I move towards Olron, could I move anything extra, or is that all that I can move?
I would say you would have to make a...
What if I leap off of Vincent?
If you make an acrobatics check to move more than your movement, I will allow it.
Okay.
Yeah, so...
No.
Oh. Wait, can I try to give her a boost with an athletics check?
With your spurs that jingle, jangle, jingle.
Fastball special.
Fastball special, Pam. I feel like that's more precision than pure strength, because if you did pure strength, you just punt her into the ground. So I'm gonna say...
Let's do it. No, I'm just kidding.
That's exactly what he wants.
If you get like a 15 on a dex check, I'll say she can have advantage.
Will there be a penalty if I do not get a 15?
No, she just won't get advantage.
Okay, then that's right.
I count this as a reaction.
Hey! Yeah.
All right, roll your acrobatics check again, Pam.
Please,
Come on, Pam, you
Just
can
make
do
it 10.
Please.
Well, I tried.
Okay, so
She hits the ground and then she falls. She sticks her head up.
you take
Touches
you land as someone runs underneath you, and you take like 11 falling damage because you hit part of their weapon, but you are within range of the purple worm that hit Olron.
Yes. Okay, hang on. Wait. Minus 11?
Yeah.
What is that's 2? Okay.
You see someone in a red coat just kind of glare at you and shove past you where you fell on the ground.
Dope. Okay.
Huh.
Okay. Okay. The attack creature with melee weapon attack. So this counts as melee, right?
For your whip, yes.
Okay, perfect. So I'm going to use Divine Smite.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh.
So I'm going to cast it at a second.
That's how you killed the first one, wasn't it?
Was it? I don't remember.
Probably.
Okay, I'll cast it at a 3rd level spell slot, which gives me 2. No, so that's 2, which gives me 4d8,
Okay.
3d8 damage.
If you roll a natural 20, this will be glorious. Go ahead and roll your attack.
But
But
I also
on.
have, starting at level 11, I have improved my smite, which gives me an extra 1d8 as it is, so that's 5d8.
great.
Oh,
And also I can attack twice.
Go for it. Oh, right.
Nice.
Paladins.
Yes.
Go for it. Gotta love paladins.
Tell me how to do it exactly. I just
Roll.
click my whip, right?
Just click on your whip. Yeah.
Whew, okay. All right.
The purple worm's armor class is 18.
on, do this.
Why is this? Okay.
Okay. The first one does not hit.
Okay. 18? Okay.
Remember your extraterrestrial rolls.
Is there? What do you mean?
Your...
Oh, okay. Extraterrestrial. Okay, I got it. Okay. Okay.
That one hits.
Nice.
Go ahead and roll your damage.
Okay, so is it my normal damage plus the extra
Yes.
damage? Okay, so damage is. Okay, hold up.
Yeah, and with Divine Smite, you can declare it after you know that you've hit, so I'm going to assume that you did it on the one that does hit. Because paladins are very nice.
What is my overall? Sorry. What is my overall damage
So
normally?
you should have it written next to what your whip is. I don't think it's a ton. I think it might be like 1 or 2 d8. Let me check for you.
Yeah, it's like there's a bunch of different things. I'm not sure.
Damage is 1d4 plus strength for your
Okay,
whip.
that's nothing.
So
Okay.
go ahead and roll 5d8 plus 1d4.
Okay. Okay. 5d8. Oh.
Roll your d4.
Hmm.
Not bad. So 27 damage is pretty gosh
Wow,
dang good.
nice.
Whew.
Yeah.
Alright.
You lean forward and whip where you see that it's like re-swallowed Olron into its kind of slashed open stomach from what Ashoka did to it last time, and you kind of hit in that similar spot, and it just turns and its teeth rotate inside its mouth, and it lets out a hiss that sounds like steam.
Ooh.
I believe.
Okay.
Yeah. Do you have anything else that you can do with your turn?
So do I get the bonus action or no?
Yeah, you get the bonus action since you did a successful acrobatics check to increase your movement. I will say yes.
Okay.
Does she get another attack or just the 2?
Just the 2. Paladins are not fighters.
Can I cast Shield of Faith on Olron?
Is it a bonus action spell?
Yes.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
So all it does is grant him +2 to his AC, but it's something.
Okay. Sure.
All right. Woo!
So Oron technically has a 19 AC now, even though he is inside of a stomach. Good to know. After Pam's turn, it is the helpful NPC's turns.
Woo!
Yay.
I'm going to roll a death saving throw for Oron. That's a fail.
Oh no.
No.
Noted. And then after his turn, Iris is gonna roll another perception check just to see if she can see where she needs to be most. Still kind of pushing through people and fighting a couple people on her own. She's going to make an attack against someone that you don't. She's literally just rolling attack to push someone out of the way.
Wow.
I'm gonna say the AC of this person is a 15. Oh, she does it! She does a 3
Wow.
roll damage. Way to go, Iris. And she's able to move forward in the crowd. Literally, that's all she's able to do. Pam, roll a straight up and down d20 of luck roll for me, please.
Me?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm sure she didn't mean to hurt the lady.
I will count that as a success.
Yes.
You see from kind of pulling up, or you hear rather. Where's my, how do I draw? coming up a long ways around from this side, you see a familiar blonde head sitting bareback across the two panthers. Still a decent amount of space from you. Kasha is going to jump down next to Iris and
Nice.
help her out a little bit. Literally, she shows up, and the person that Iris shoved out of the way reaches down to like pick her up by her pink robes. Kasha jumps off of the panthers that are yours, Pam, and there's a dagger in the dude's shoulder in 6 seconds.
Nice.
Nice.
Yes! My babies!
Yes, and then let me see. What's Maud gonna do?
Maud.
Rowan is asleep.
Quanthon.
Quanthon.
Quanthon. But not really.
Pile drive the worm.
Maud
Pile
is
drive.
Pile drive the worm.
Maud is one of the ones who heard Vorgana call, so she's just gonna use her turn yelling, "Everybody get out of the way! I'm telling you now, get out of the way!" She's gonna roll a persuasion
Yay.
check.
Yay.
Come on, Mon.
+0.
Mon.
I love you, Maud.
Yes!
Hey.
Yes.
Nice.
Little Maud Soffits, bossing everyone around as it should be. That's gonna help the other NPCs. There's officially now no one in the strike zone for the... What's the word? Debris. That was gonna calm down inside of the building.
Yay.
Okay, so that's good. Remus and... Let's see.
So wait a minute.
Yeah.
So there's nobody left in the way that I'm on the way back to save?
No, okay, so the dais area of this is... Let me freehand it. Let me get a different color. The dais area that is under the primary steeple spot where the framing has been falling apart is like in here. The rest of the people are... One sec. I know how programs work. Let's make these people blue. Are like... So there's no one left currently right in the here or the like, the triangle zone with disasters. There's no one left in that spot, but there are people at the front here pushing through here that becomes the pink dots outside there. So there's a group of people clustering around Ramu and Remus trying to get out as they try to literally punch through the wall there. And then there's people slowly coming over here because Maud just shouted at them to get away. So, that being said, Remus is... What's he going to do?
Are they literally just trying to punch a hole in the wall?
They found a weak spot in the framing and were like throwing spells and such at it. I'm going to have Remus and Ramu. Where's Ramu? I have so many character sheets. Okay. Ramu is going to... yeah. So they're both going to attack it. What's his strength? Oh, wait. He had a strength potion, didn't he? He had some ridiculous strength modifier for this. Because he, drank something and got buff. I'm going to have he gets advantage because the other dude is helping. Thank goodness for the advantage. I'm going to say that this wall officially starts to break apart, and now people are exiting through here as well. Bracketed by Ramu and Remus, just kind of go, 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 leading them out into the city center. Which isn't perfect still, because still this massive wall everywhere. But it's better. Let's see. Some of the people in here, dude in the black hood steps out and starts to try and wrangle up some folks. I believe that's going to be the end of the helpful NPCs for now. After them...
So wait a minute. So we got Remus and Rumul that are going out that door to the left, or that whole wall.
Yeah.
Where's the guy in the black hood?
He just left this way.
There's a hole in the wall there?
This is just the entrance to the place. It's roughly here.
Okay, so we got 3 forms of exit.
Yes. One going further up into the building, which is you. One going like through the wall here, which is them. And then out the front door that is currently so congested it's still like it's Black Friday at Walmart. It's rough to get out, which is why he went there.
Okay.
And let me put a black arrow there instead so you can see the dude with the black hood. Okay.
Thank you.
After the helpful NPCs, it's Ashoka and Gregnut.
Yay!
So,
Where is Joseph Swanson in the turn order?
That's a good question.
Joseph Swanson will go when Gregnut goes. If you want to, if you think you can live up to the level of chaos that is Gregnut with Pam voicing him and you making him useful by being a very large mammoth, I will give you clemency to do so. But Ashoka goes first. I'm gonna puppet Ashoka. He's going to do some monk things to this. Pardon?
Would the mammoth be in the same position as the third triumvirate? Because just because she changed farm doesn't mean she lost her turn, right?
That's true, but then she would have been going with the villains.
It doesn't mean she had to be like a villain.
I'm going to say that on Gregnut's turn, I'm going to give her a saving throw to see if she has the sense of mind after the stellar animal handling roll that Gregnut did to turn back into a very powerful person that she was before, not simply giving this life of simpleness. Okay. 2 key points. Ashoka's going to cast Thunder Wave at the purple worm that hit Olron.
Ooh.
Nice.
By using 2 key points. Boop boop. And I'm going to click on it so you can... Oh, it just says Thunder Wave. Thunder Wave, what do you do? Gregnut, be considering what you want to do. Joseph Swanson, be considering your choices in life if you decide to continue to remain a... 2d8 thunder damage. Yeah. So that's gonna be 2d8 thunder damage to the worm and anybody that doesn't make... Okay, so that's 5 thunder damage to the worm.
No! Would Ashoka do a different roll?
What, do you want to roll for Ashoka?
I agree.
Who elects to roll for Ashoka if I am not allowed to?
I think Ashoka would turn into the gas.
Oh no.
He
Why
did
would
that
you
once
say
already.
I think he'd do it again. No, I'm just kidding.
Tell me before I subtract the life. Is anyone willing to argue this point with me further?
No.
I think
so.
It could be more than 5 though.
It could be more than 5. I mean, I just don't want to rock the boat with our DM here.
I was gonna say because Veronica is Victor's sister, then maybe it would make sense for Veronica to roll.
Okay, I can
Or
roll.
Ashoka.
Roll 2d8 for me, please.
2d8.
Mm-hmm.
No.
You wanted this, Pam.
Wait, now I'm forgetting how to... Okay, here we go.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Amazing.
A little bit better. Could be
Okay.
worse.
All right. Okay, no. So that Ashoka is going to savage attacks. No. Okay. Bonus action disengage, which he can do as a monk, I do believe. Or is that a rogue thing? No, it's patient defense, which is a key thing. Yep, which is the same as. So whoever attacks him next has disadvantage. This is how monks work. Gregnut and Joseph Swanson, what are you doing? You're still at the back of City Center. You're...
Joseph Swanson, what are we doing?
Talk
Talk to me, buddy.
Does
Joseph
Swanson
Joe
talk?
Star Swanson.
You're here. Darius voices all animals in this game.
You're right. You're right. We should leave.
I think Gregnut would want to use Joseph Swanson to help his friend.
What? Help our friends. Who's our
Yeah.
friend?
All of the people, like,
Joseph Swanson, you're my number one friend.
Okay, hold on a second.
I don't think this is very Gregnut-like. I'm
Do
sorry.
we want to roll to see
If we're
which
gonna be inaccurate about this, then I don't think we should have Natalie play Gregnut. I'm just kidding.
question? Should we indulge the Greg Nut fourth wall break mechanic that we did last time, wherein I literally had Greg Nut roll to see how many of ours he could hear in his head while this was going
Honestly, I think you should just be able to hear everyone because that's funny.
on. I disagree. It's funnier if he can only hear half of a conversation. So,
Then yes.
currently at the table we have Darius, Pam, Vincent, Morgana, and the DM. So whoever is rolling for Greg Nut, please roll a d5 to see how many of those people he can hear, and then select them.
Go.
Greg Nut, what 3 people can you hear?
Well, I'm pretty sure I can hear you.
Okay. This is a very good voice.
I could hear Joseph Swanson, so...
Wait, Joseph Swanson or Joseph Swanson?
Joseph Swanson, of course.
Oh, okay.
Nice to meet you, buddy. And... Morgana.
I choose not to listen.
I
I'm
choose
not
still
the
salty
God.
from the last time.
Well,
I'm like,
really,
get
I
out
choose
of my
Darius.
brain.
I choose Darius instead, Morgana, even though I can still hear you.
Okay.
Fine.
I can hear 4 now, just because.
I believe it.
What would you like to do with your turn?
Can I phone a friend?
Are you literally going to phone a friend?
Maybe.
Call Miguel.
I was gonna call
I
Oh,
Nick.
dare you.
Gail.
Okay, I'm not gonna call Nick. Okay.
My husband, Dale.
I would like to phone Darius.
Okay.
Ring, 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 ring.
Hello, Log and
Darius,
Sloggers Pizzeria.
Sluggish Pizzeria.
Darius.
Oh, yes. Hello.
I've never had a mammoth before. Do you know how to use a mammoth for good?
Yeah, just treat them nice.
Okay.
Feed them once in a while, and don't use your spurs.
Don't pile drive him.
I do.
No, use the mammoth to pile drive like bad guys and enemies and worms and stuff.
Who's okay? Where are the worms at?
Or stomp on them.
Can I stomp
Stomp on the worm.
That's a good idea, Darius. I'm so glad I phoned you instead of Morgana.
Oh, fuck.
Wow.
I can still
Well, I'm
hear it.
sure.
Like,
I'm sure
F-bomb.
Morgana would have had a good idea.
Really? I don't think so.
Well,
Morgana's kind of mean, but anyway.
Whatever.
This is beautiful.
Okay, so I choose DM, Granny.
Yeah.
My beloved Granny, whom I love and deeply as a person. Granny.
Yes.
I love you, Granny. I would like to stomp on a worm
Okay.
with my buddy Joseph Swanson,
With your buddy Joseph Swanson. Let's see how much movement a mammoth gets in a turn.
my new best friend. Not
Man,
you,
what-
Joseph Swanson, but Joseph.
Wow. Okay. You didn't have to specify, but fine.
Wait, who do you think the Joseph Swanson is?
I don't have to answer that.
Yeah, you do.
We
That's
both know in our hearts which Joseph Swanson we're talking about.
true.
A mammoth has 40 feet of movement speed per round. If you make the mammoth double dash, that means you can go 80 feet, which means that you can probably get to about here.
Yes. What do I have to do for a double dash?
Oh.
I will do, Granny. I will do literally
Yeah.
for a double
double dash.
Gregnut, get out of my ear.
If
Joseph Swanson, this is why you're not the Joseph Swanson.
Gregnut, if you do a double dash, you risk your mammoth becoming overexerted and maybe realizing it was not always a mammoth.
Oh.
That would be a roll, but it is still a chance.
All right. Well, so how close would I be with a double dash to one of the rooms?
Relatively close.
That's not good enough, Granny.
Relatively close to the worm that has thus far been unhindered, but that worm is still inside of a dark bubble. Let me draw it on the smaller reference map for you.
So if that's my mammoth movement, could I have my own movement and vault myself off of the mammoth onto one of the worms?
You may have to make an acrobatics check, which I do not believe you're the best at, Gregnut. Your strength lies elsewhere. You could still try. I suppose it's a choice between risking your mammoth friend or your physical bodily health.
Well, I would never risk Joseph Swanson. He's my baby.
Is Joseph Swanson the yellow mark on that drawing?
No, the yellow mark is where the yellow bean was dropped and started to create acid water.
I did not know that was.
So where's the? I'm sorry. Where's the mammoth then? Where's Joseph Swanson?
I'm sorry. I was looking at this as a thing of the overall building, forgetting that it was inside the building. He was like behind here, and then would be coming up around to kind of near where the yellow water would be,
Right
with
there,
the 80 feet.
Where?
I'm right here. Joseph Swanson.
Oh, okay. It's hiding. All right.
Here.
It's
Where are
behind
you,
my
Joseph?
sheet.
What would you like to choose, Gregnut? Do you have any more beans?
I don't know. You tell me.
Let's see. I believe last time you had a red bean that you used, a yellow bean that you used.
Okay. So if I fed a bean to my mammoth, to Joseph Swanson, could that increase his speed without, risking his identity?
You mean his agency as a human being that she was
Sure,
before you?
yes.
Okay.
Who cares?
Ye-
Who cares about the before? All we care about is the now, Granny. I live in the now
Oh my
when
God.
Joseph Swanson is a mammoth, not a person.
Previously, when you fed the mammoth your eaten beans, not your magic beans, but your eaten beans, you did get a natural 20 when rolling a animal handling check to make it your mammoth. So I suppose it could help. I'll say it would raise the chances of success that when you roll to see whether or not the mammoth regains its agency, it would be harder for the mammoth to remember its previous form.
I think it could be argued that this person wanted to be a mammoth their entire life, and this is their chance to start over.
That's what I think as well. I feel it deep within my heart.
Just saying.
In my beans.
What would you like to do?
Joseph Swanson, what do you think? Joseph Swanson.
Wait,
Voice of all animals, if you would.
Did I say the Joseph Swanson or did I say Joseph Swanson?
you said Joseph Swanson. Yeah. So
Yes, my lady. Yes, my lord.
No,
okay, you know what? I don't want this mammoth to be named Joseph Swanson anymore.
But should I do Joseph?
What? Who are you talking to?
Maxwell.
Yes.
He's talking to me.
Oh, okay.
No,
Go for
Joseph
it.
Swanson. Shush. Maxwell.
Yes.
You.
What was the question?
Are you serious?
Listen, Gregnut, I can't be.
Should I risk feeding my mammoth the beans to go faster towards the worms so I can squish them, or
No,
should I?
you can't risk the Joseph Swanson. Come on.
But I also have to squish the worms.
But come on, Gregnut. I think in your heart the choice is obvious.
You're right. I'll risk myself versus yes.
Exactly.
All right.
Feed yourself to Joseph
Yeah.
Swanson.
We're gonna move with the double dash with Joseph Swanson. And then
The double dash.
I'm gonna eat the bean, hope it grants me flying powers, and go straight into the dark.
I will let you know that the last time you rolled to see what beans you had 3 of them and you've used them all. So the beans you have left are your eating beans, which are
Damn.
non-magical and already partially gone because you did
Oh,
share
no.
them with Joseph Swanson.
Okay, well, here we go. So, my beans give me strength, especially in my thighs. So if I try to do a power, then that might help me get to the worms. And if I land on one of the rooms, I might kill one.
Okay,
With my body.
I will make this a...
I have tower thighs.
What is even going on?
Tower thighs. Yeah.
Can you guys imagine D&D without this?
Nope.
No.
I feel like Ryan would be so befuddled right now.
Yeah.
Greg
He'd
Nut,
love it.
he would. I'm going to make this a
I
straight...
love Brian.
This is going to be a straight up and down d20 roll. Because
Okay.
though normally you would have a negative to your acrobatics because you are not a goblin designed for such things, you have eaten some
I
beans.
have power thighs, always have.
And
Always
it's a
have.
straight
It
up,
runs in my family.
straight up and down d20 as well because the purple one that
Okay.
you're aiming for you can only see the very tail of that sticks out of this dark bubble.
On the tail. Okay. I'm gonna try to. So here's what I'm gonna try to do. I'm gonna try to launch near the bubble, and go into it, or pull something out of it.
Okay.
That's what I'm gonna do.
Roll above a
And then fight it with my
15
bare
so that you won't be knocked prone.
Okay, D20.
Yes.
Well,
Nice.
You splat
paradise. I didn't eat enough beans.
You splat 5 feet away from the edge of the dark bubble. Technically, because it's a
Yeah.
family resemblance. Technically, because you use the movement of the mammoth and not your own movement, this jump would be part of it, but getting up would take half your movement, so you would have 10 feet of movement left. And I just said you were 5 feet from the edge of the bubble, so do what you will.
Okay, so
How do
am I
you...
close?
Do you have
am I
HP?
close? Huh? What?
Nothing. I'm just pondering things.
Greg Nut
Go
cannot
forward.
die.
Okay, so how am I closer to the bubble than I am to another worm?
Yes, but the last you saw of the worm that you were aiming for, the last that you know of it somehow, is that it was within this bubble. So,
Okay, so
tomato.
I'm gonna go into the bubble.
Okay, let me check something real quick.
Can I just peek into the bubble first? Just dip my little toes in. I don't want to dive all the way in quite yet.
You poke your head in the bubble, and after your head enters it, even if you tilt your head in
Here's Johnny.
so that it's just one eye, you still, with your head inside, cannot see anything.
Huh. Okay. Can I pull out my trusty flashlight?
You pull out some kind of torch, and it does not help you.
Flashlight.
You reach your arm into the darkness, and you feel a brush. I'm sorry, wait, what did I miss just there?
Nothing.
Okay. And you feel your arm brush against something kind of scaly.
No. Oh no.
Ew.
Hello? Hello?
Hello?
We can...
I'm back.
He's in the bubble.
Hello?
Hello.
What's up, Greg Nut? This is
Oh.
Jernut.
Wait, what?
Is this a
Hello?
thing? Jernut? Is
Jernut?
Jernut in this bubble? Is he scaly?
Yeah, hey, I'm in Greg Nut's head. I'm Jernut.
No, you're in the bubble.
I'm in the bubble? What's the bubble? I thought I was in Greg Nut's head.
He is in my head.
Is this
So
bubble his
confused.
head?
Greg, not immersing your face in this complete blackness when you know there should be some form of light brings back memories for you, and the old voice you haven't heard for some time suddenly makes itself known inside your mind.
Jordan,
Uh,
where have you been?
I don't know. I think it's just in your head. I don't know if I'm some kind of murmury or some kind. I know how to spell my name. It's JOURNUT. Is that right, Greg? Is that how
That
we spell
sounds
names?
just about perfect, Jordan.
Oh, thank you, my friend.
So, okay, what do we make sense of this dark bubble that my head is in?
I don't know, but I have this here nut for you if you want it.
You have
It's
a nut for me?
yeah, it's pure black.
Okay.
It looks pretty evil, but I mean, if you want to eat it, you can.
All right. DM, can I eat the nut?
Am I willing to? Gosh,
Isn't Jordan in your head?
hold on a second.
What is happening?
Hold on a second.
So with the nuts, sometimes looks can be deceiving. Don't judge a book by its cover. It could be a really good thing.
It could be
Okay.
a very good nut.
Okay.
Question.
Yes.
Does Greg not have a cousin named Donut?
That is yet to be
Oh
determined.
darn it! That's my name. It's Donut.
You're my cousin? I don't remember any
His cousin's name is Craig Nut.
Oh yeah, Craig Nut. That's my name.
You're the cousin whose name changes every time you can think of a better pun.
Exactly. Actually, I think I'm gonna stay with Donut. I like that one a lot. That's what they called me in college.
Alright.
Do I want to let this happen? Who do I want to make roll to see if this is a thing that can happen?
Me, I want to roll, Jenny. Or you
I
can
mean,
let
it
Donut
could
roll.
also just be a part of his imagination.
But you wanted to
know.
give him a nut or piece of food, which for Greg Nut is where his power lies. So, you know what? Donut,
Yes.
if you roll above a 15 on a d20, Greg Nut has a donut that has materialized inside of his now empty can of beans.
All right.
What the heck?
Get to cracking here.
Greg Nut is the space between spaces.
Oh no!
Wait.
Wait, did that count, dear?
Yes,
15
DCs
or
are
above.
if you meet or exceed them. So you cannot, you can eat a bean as a bonus action. I'm going to say that a donut will take I'm going to say that you can't do it this turn.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm still only headway into the bubble, right?
Yes.
What's that sound?
You don't know.
Hello?
At the end of Greg Nut's turn, it is the turn of all the medium NPCs and the tree. So, that means we're rolling again, everybody. So, donut.
Yeah.
Someone else has to
You mean
Yes.
we're rolling?
Yes.
Rolling.
Okay.
Let's get it rolling.
So, we're going to roll for 10% of the current civilian population. Let's see. One of the villain NPCs deliberately made it harder, and then the purple worm is also assisting in that. And then but Darius was actively helping. You literally took away civilian numbers from the space. Ramu and Remus were helping. Maud helped. Vorgana helped. So I'm going to say they still have a positive chance this round. It's not going to be a 75% chance of success like last time, but it's going to be 60%. So who wants to watch me do math again?
Me.
I love watching math. That's a lie. I'm sorry.
Equals x over 20.
I like it when it's the art kind of math.
Where I have to paint.
Yeah, if you paint it out, I'll understand it.
Good. Okay.
I don't understand how come
Hmm?
we're all trying to save it and the chances of us saving it get smaller.
Because there are forces actively working against you now versus before when it was actively just working to try and destroy the structures to make it harder. Before, the base chance without anybody assisting is 50-50. This is still a positive increase of chance from what it would have been. So now, once again, you have to roll. It'll be 12 of the numbers out of the d20 are a success. Do you guys want to do it? Ah! Come back. No! Now all my beautiful markers are below the thing.
Aw.
That's fine. Do you guys want to do it where above or below, where below 12 is good, or above 8 is good? N or W in the chat, normal or weird. Normal is higher is better, weird is lower is better.
Always weird.
Yeah.
Oh,
Let's get weird, everyone.
Okay.
somebody roll a 2.
Okay.
Wait a minute.
What?
Vorgana, roll your 3.
Okay. So somebody roll a d20, you have to get below a 12, and it will save. Hey! Oh, wait, no, that's a
Hey.
d3.
You rolled a d3.
Very good.
You said to roll a 3. I did it. I'm always gonna listen to what Darius has to say. You can't stop me.
Okay,
Granny.
roll below 12 on a d20 and you'll save 27 people.
Wait, say that again?
Roll below a 12 on a d20 and you will save 27 civilians.
Goodness. Okay, here we go. No. Why
Okay.
am I rolling high right now? No one said we don't need it.
So did we just kill 27 people?
You are unsure.
Oh.
Nobody
no.
managed to escape this round is what that means.
They're just not necessarily safe.
Mm-hmm.
That doesn't mean they're dead. Just means they're probably dead. Just kidding.
One step closer to being dead.
Yep.
With this,
Which is interestingly titled next is the next title of Selena Gomez's next album.
Oh, the band? I love them.
Yeah, that band is so good.
Yeah.
Yes.
the tree is also going to grow on this turn since it's broken
No.
past the original boundary of the area of city center that it busted through. It's going to grow another 50 feet tall, and it's also kind of growing wider. So the dais itself is now going to start to turn into rubble, but thankfully that will take place with the next turn. The area that would have been taken over by the rubble from the roof has been cleared, but the stone itself turning to rubble is going to become an issue. However, a vast majority of people are starting to go to the edge anyways. We'll just have to see if anything would cause them to retreat into a still dangerous area. Vorgana,
Yay.
it's your turn. What would you like to do? The tree continues to grow above you. You're standing on top of a 300-foot tall wall. Pam and Vincent flew away. Greg Nut rode a mammoth and then had some things happen. You're still the only one back here now. So what would you like to do?
Oh man.
Do you want to start out with perception?
Yeah, let's start off with perception.
Okay.
I need to just teleport myself out of there if I can.
Okay, go for it. Roll
Any way
those
possible.
activities.
Alright. Oh goodness, my perception's so bad. Oh, come on.
You're
Oh.
completely shaken
gross.
because everything's been happening so fast. But you
That's so
still
gross.
you still have a turn because you're standing on the back outer wall. You could theoretically walk in or around or do something. You're at an area that people haven't explored much, just fought on, and you're not too sure what's going on either in the main part of city center or in the wilds, somewhat unexplored to the north of you.
Okay. Well, I'm going to. Sorry, it's my turn. Hello, everyone. Sorry, my family got here. I have to close the door on them. So.
Shut the door. Shut the door.
Shut the door, babe. Don't say. Okay. I'm not gonna do that. Sugar Ray.
I'm redrawing my populace.
well,
Ignore me.
But I did see that everyone's running away, right?
Yes, you did. Well, from
So
the
I'm
space that you had seen inside, correct.
um
I'm just going to draw the broken land again. Ignore me. Continue with your planning.
well, I
Box.
wanted to figure out
Okay.
if I had something that I could actually use to just get myself out of this, off of the tree.
You have various D&D powers, and then you have also some kind of weird powers that come not from you being a cleric, but from being a teenage girl. Don't know if you're aware.
Are you talking about my pile driver ability to pile drive the tree?
Not
Yeah.
explicitly, but I admire your way of thinking.
Thank you. Cece, maybe you can help me answer this question.
Puzzle.
I'm trying to get off of a tree right now.
You're off of the tree. You're on
And
a 300-foot tall wall at the back of a city council building.
So you don't even know where you are.
Yeah, I didn't even know where I was. I'm so confused.
You're just really
I
high
started
up.
playing a character named Donut. There's so much going on. My brain can only handle so much, everyone. But I'm enjoying playing with you guys.
Maybe you could be like a 13-year-old girl, capuchin monkey, and just swing down, limba, limba, limba.
I could try that. I mean, my athletics is not very good.
Do you want to try to
Actually,
Tarzan down?
What?
Do you want to try to Tarzan down?
Yeah, I'll Tarzan down with my athletics of 7. Unless I have to use acrobatics, in case I will not Tarzan down.
I'll say you can do it straight up. Is it +7?
It's +7, yeah.
Okay, so if you're gonna Tarzan down, are you gonna go back inside city center? All the windows are completely broken, so you can go back inside and climb down the tree. If you're Tarzaning down like a sheer-faced brick wall that's the outside of this, unless you're trying to jump like 20 feet to land in the canopy of trees, no, that is beyond the outer wall of the city center.
Well, I just want to get to my friends at this point,
Understood.
and I don't want to die.
Yes, crucial that part.
So I'm gonna go towards wherever my friends are going because I feel like that's the way that I believe. Not saying that it's right. That I will be able to get out and escape.
Okay.
With them.
The last way that you saw your friends descend this way is Pam teleported up with Dimension Door, and Vincent was flying.
Oh, well, maybe I can't go with them.
You can make an attempt to do the same thing with the tree that you... Pardon. Sentence. You can make an attempt to do the same thing with the brick wall that you did with the tree and your axe. It may not be as successful because brick is not as soft a surface as wood.
Makes sense. Well, I can go for it and see what happens, and then if I die, I die.
No.
I'm just kidding. I don't think it's that high of stakes yet. Yeah, let me try it with my athletics check. So I want to, before I do this, I want to make sure that I am getting as high as possible.
Okay.
To be able to maybe see where my friends are and also be going the same way that I saw them going.
Okay, so you're going to kind of run around the back of the wall to start with so that you're as close to the edge of where it leads into the rest of the ceiling that's still intact so that you're not going to fall. Okay, so you're coming down the back wall. So this is, I've reconstructed this here. I'm going to make you
please.
green.
Okay, thank you.
Honk. What did you... Did you cuss? Someone bleeped you out. So, back wall.
Did you hear that honk?
Yeah.
Oh wow. Okay.
I too heard that.
So this is not a perfect showing. This is interior, and the stuff I'm about to show is on the exterior of this back wall. Can you see my mouse?
I can't see the mouse. No, I can only see when you do the
stream
thingy.
can see my mouse. Okay, that's what I mean.
I can watch the stream.
That's okay. but you're gonna run along the back wall to this spot and then come down because the ceiling is going to start to exist again, roughly where these hallways start, because these hallways lead out to like other spirals and towers. So this part is broken here. There's a great big old tree growing out at the center of this, etc., etc. Do you want to go ahead and do your cool bond move? And
Yes.
okay.
I want to just do the bond move.
James Bond.
Dun 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 dun.
I'm going to say okay.
Oh.
All right.
I mean, I don't think I did the cool bond move anyways.
9.
Or if I did it, I didn't do it very cool.
He doesn't always do the moves well, but he smiles while he does it.
Exactly. I'll just be smiling even if I'm literally getting buried by a pile of rubble.
Okay, so as you kind of jump and turn and pull your axe down against the side of the brick, it just kind of clings off and you're free falling for the length of this turn. At the start of your next turn, you'll get a dexterity saving throw to try and re-get your axe into the wall so that you don't just fall.
Well, everyone, I'm actually probably dead.
No.
You're
I have
300.
a dexterity of -4.
You also have Oliver rolls. You will
Did you
fall.
jump onto the? Did you jump into the inside or the outside?
The
outside.
inside? Or the outside?
Well, you were falling where you saw Pam and Vincent go, right? They went outside.
Yeah. Yeah, I was trying to go outside the whole time. So I'm actually outside?
Yeah. That's why I'm saying
Oh,
you're.
thank God. That's what I was trying to do.
Yeah.
I'm so confused. I'm sorry.
It's okay. I wish
thought it
I
was
had a better
outside
map
the
for
entire
you.
time.
It's
Thank
my
you.
fault.
No, it's okay.
But
I
yeah.
thought we were all inside still.
No. Apologies. I will try to contextualize the narrative a bit better since we do not have a proper map.
I think you're doing fine. I'm a dum dum.
No, you're not. Neither of us need to insult each other to feel better about this. We're both doing our best. How's that?
You're right. Or insult ourselves. we are insulting
Or
ourselves,
each
and
other.
then the other two are
Don't
like,
do either
no,
of us."
I'm the one that's being dumb.
Okay, so you're free falling outside down the back of the sheer face 300-foot tall brick wall.
Yes.
For
Okay.
this round of combat, you will fall 60 feet. It's 300 feet up.
Damn.
But that means that you still have a few turns before you completely fall, and you'll get a dexterity save and or a chance to come up with a creative solution the rest of those turns.
Part of my creative solution, I close my eyes and I think of Oliver, but then I'm also thinking of the Tom Petty song, Free Fallin'.
She's a
And
good.
that's
That is
just
immediately
playing in the
what I think.
background.
It's in a music video of Moments with Your Life with Oliver, and it's free falling.
Oh.
All the times you pushed Oliver off of things. And actually,
Pushing him off. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, like, pushing him off of, like, a bridge where there's just, like, a water, like a lake.
Yeah, some
Oh my
swings at
gosh.
school, the
Yeah.
monkey bars.
He's, like, in full swing, and then he just comes straight back, and I just push him.
Mm-hmm.
Excellent.
I will actually count that as a little flashback moment that you do experience. It's like 2009 AMV style where there's a sepia filter over it for no reason, and it shouldn't make you emotional, but it does.
Morgana has a little bit of a tear coming down.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Not because she's about to fall to her impending doom, but all the moments with Oliver.
Yeah. So, with that, remember that moment for your next turn, because I think that'll affect
got it.
things.
You got it.
After Morgana's turn, Vincent,
Yes.
you are up.
All right. I continue to fly towards the purple worms and the giant black.
Okay, do you want to go to... You're within range now that I do believe with your fly speed, you can get to either purple worm. Do you want to go to the one that hurt Ulron or the one that's in the dark bubble?
Is the one that hurt Ulron on the way to the dark bubble?
Not currently.
I'm gonna go into the dark bubble.
Okay. So you zoom into the dark bubble. Do you want to make a perception check as you enter?
Yes.
I almost want to say it's complete pitch black. but you are Vincent, so ears.
Well,
Okay, it's real dark. You hear a as you brush by someone on the way. Are you standing fully in it, or did you just enter into the side?
I think I would have just gone head first. And
This is fair and true.
Vincent is in action mode right now, so he's not really being
He
careful.
is action boy, I understand. Okay, one quick second. I'm gonna make you bright red so that I can see you.
I've always wanted to be bright red. Thank you.
Boop. You go directly into there. I'm going to say you brush past and feel if you literally fly into. How far off the ground are you flying? Let's ask it that way.
I was thinking like, however tall the black hole thing is, probably like midway between that and the ground.
Okay. So in that, you definitely like brush past a couple of people's heads and you hear yells and screaming as soon as you get into here. I want you to make a dexterity saving throw at disadvantage.
All right.
I'm going to set it as a DC 15.
Well,
Okay.
did not make it.
However, let me check something. This spell. Is this concentration? It is. Okay. Go ahead and take 3 points of piercing damage. And
Okay.
then she's gonna make a constitution save. What's your
Who's she?
shush. What's your strength? I'm going to use it to set a DC for her concentration check.
The modifier or the score?
Who's she?
The base stat, I'm going to use it basically to be like a person of this much strength ran into her in order to maintain concentration.
Well,
She has to.
the score is 20, so.
Okay, so let's see.
Who's next? Are the mean PCs next?
Let me check for you. After
I'm
Vincent, it's the
sorry to
enemies.
whoever.
Is where?
After Vincent, it's the enemies.
Okay, I'll be right back.
Okay. And then after the enemies, it is Darius. So I'll have a good amount of time to monologue something. Okay. However, Vincent,
Yes.
you like knock into the head of this person and it like pushes up against your side slightly. And then a moment later, the ball of darkness disappears.
Oh.
And you are standing, or not standing, you're hovering slightly above and to the right of a tiefling woman who's holding her horn that currently has a little bit of your blood on it, who is standing with her other hand on a purple worm, glaring at you with 5 unconscious bodies on the ground,
You were right.
and also
Do
a
I
dragnet.
Do I recognize this tiefling from my dream?
Make a...
We were right about her.
Make a wisdom or intelligence check. If you get below a 5, it will be bad for you.
Wisdom or intelligence?
Yeah.
They're equally bad.
I almost wish you had like a hunter's instinct or something that you could roll.
Is that honey?
Exactly.
I'm sorry.
It's okay. I agree with
Honey?
her. Let me see. Hold on.
Can I do it with advantage because of the dream or no?
You know what? Yes, I will say yes.
All right.
If you get below 5, it'll be bad for you.
Okay, cool.
You got above an 8, so I will say you are... You know what? That's enough. This is bad guy. That much you can.
Okay. I'm gonna do the unvincent like thing and be like, "What are you doing? Like, what are you doing?"
She looks up at you. What languages do you understand?
I understand Common, Abyssal, and Infernal.
Hmm. She looks up at you and she hisses in Infernal. What I was born to do.
Oh god.
And then what else would you like to do?
I'm just like, well, that's probably enough for me to kill you. And then I start attacking her with my sword.
Okay, go for it.
Should I roll? Yeah, I'm just gonna attack her 3 times.
Yeah.
Wait, is my sword still on fire? Because I remember last
I
time,
think
I'm
that
pretty sure Pam set my sword on fire,
it
right?
may have been a concentration spell, which I believe was broken if she cast Shield of Faith on Olron.
Yeah.
But Pam, what does your spell say?
For which one?
For your whatever it was that imbued his sword with fire last time.
Magical. Hang on. Elemental. Concentration up to 1 hour.
Were any of the other spells you've cast since then concentration? Is Shield of Faith concentration?
Yes.
Okay, so that has ended.
Okay.
But good
Alright.
memory.
Just had to check.
No, of course.
Alright, yeah, so I'm just gonna attack her 2 more times.
All right.
Would fire have done anything anyway?
You are not sure. All 3 of those hit.
Yay!
Okay.
Go ahead
cool.
and roll damage. That's going to be bad.
Alright.
This is going to be a bad time for her.
Oof.
It...
Is Gregnet still watching this?
Yes.
Wow.
Also, Gregnut, as your eyes become clear, you realize that a large portion of why there are so many unconscious bodies around you is because part of the ground beneath here in this bubble was unsteady because it got ripped up by purple worm.
Hold on. Someone's knocking. I will be right back.
Okay. Is that all the damage? I believe it is.
What was the last thing you said?
Ground got ripped up by a purple worm underneath this dark bubble, which is why there are so many unconscious people, as well as there's like... You can see that there's some... it's another spot where some of the water that had flooded into the whole of the city center area starting to kind of come down into this like a well. Like there's an unconscious body face down in the... Anyway.
Goodness.
Yeah. Is that enough D&D for you? Where's... Is it just us right now?
You and me?
Yeah.
I think so.
I think so as well.
Darius!
That's okay. I think that was a full attack for each of his things. Let me double check his stats.
Okay, I'm so sorry.
It's okay.
I'm back.
Hi back. Is that all your damage?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. So that would be your action and movement. Do you have any bonus actions you would like to do?
I don't think I... Wait. Nope. I don't think I have any bonus actions that I can do.
Okay. In that case... In that case, it's the end of your turn, which means the start of the enemy's turn. Of course, we're going to start with this lady. Go ahead and roll a perception check for me.
Okay. Perception. Who?
She immediately disappears.
Well.
One quick second. I want to make sure I'm reading something correctly. So, on her turn, because she successfully. You probably know this, Max, because you know of your roguish aspirations for your being.
Yes.
Do either of those hit?
I don't think so. I have. Yeah, my armor class is 18.
Okay. Let's see. I think she gets more attacks because of absurdity.
Wait, I'm gonna repost one of them because I can do that.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Okay, go for it.
So I'm gonna expend one of my superiority die. Let me just read to make sure.
Oh my
Okay.
gosh.
Come on. Oh.
Go ahead and roll damage. She's going to use
Alright.
uncanny dodge against that.
Oh no. I also
You get to double the superiority die.
yeah, cool. Alright, that's a I don't know how I haven't memorized this by now. It's a D10, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Man,
Yeah.
she has so much cool stuff.
Why do you think I want to become a rogue?
Yeah. Okay, so this gets doubled.
Wow. That was such a low roll. Yeah.
That's all right. So, 12, which she's gonna half back down to 6.
Well, good thing I got a natural 20 then.
Yeah.
Still not a lot of damage, but I'll.
And since you already used your reaction, she's going to use all of her movement to get away. So she is now 30 feet away from you,
Okay.
running this direction. However, the purple worm is still right by you.
All right.
He's gonna do some things. Okay. Going to just like turn on you and take a big ol' bite at you. Plus 14 to hit. Does that hit? Gracious.
No, my armor class is actually 34. Just kidding. That definitely
Okay.
hit.
Yeah. Okay. So that's gonna be 3d8 plus 9 piercing damage. And if the target is smaller than large, make a DC 19 dexterity saving throw, please.
All right. I don't think I'm gonna make that, but I'll try. Oh, does that?
Yeah, you are not swallowed by the worm.
Yes.
So you
That's
do
so
not.
awesome.
But it is going to make its tail singer attack against you, which it was going to make against
Okay.
Gregnut. So you are protecting Gregnut by being a meat.
I have to do math really.
Okay. That's the same roll. So that's
It did 29 damage the first time.
yes, it did. And then this is going to be the damage from this tail singer.
All right.
9, 6. That's 21 damage, and you
Oof,
need to make a
all
DC
right.
19 Constitution saving throw.
Constitution.
DC 19,
All right.
or you take a bunch of. Okay,
Cool.
you still are gonna take half damage, but that's much better for you.
Oh my god.
So this
Worms.
half of this. So
Oh.
36 divided by 2. Yeah, purple worms are bad, y'all. I know that it's been all jokes and fun. So that's 18 poison damage.
I hate that.
All right.
You're not poisoned. You just have taken poison damage.
Yeah.
Okay.
Good to know.
Mhm.
I still have 8 HP left.
Oh boy. Okay. So that is that purple worm. The purple worm near Olron. Ashoka, I believe, took a thing so that it would have disadvantage on its next turn. How smart is the purple worm? Not very. Okay. I'm gonna roll an intelligence check for it. If it gets, it's very bad at intelligence. If it gets below a 10, it's going to stay above ground and try to attack either Ashoka or Iris. If it gets if it does a bad roll, it's going to stay above ground. If it gets a good roll, it's going to go below ground where it's safe.
Makes sense.
10 is the DC. So, the purple worm that is currently digesting Olron burrows underneath the ground.
No! No!
And let's see.
No!
Gregnut is currently separate from the woolly mammoth, so it is not under the influence of Greg. I'm going to say that if the woolly mammoth is left unattended for too many turns in a row, it's either going to... I'm going to give it a roll to see whether it runs away into the forest, runs to find Gregnut, or turns back into the triumvirate member. Sound
What?
good?
That one of those does not sound like the other.
Yeah, that's why it would be a roll, and after 3 turns.
Wow. After 3 of Gregnut's turns, or
3 overall combat turns. So this is the first overall turn. It's not an enemy right now. So yes. Okay. What other enemies are there? So that she got chased away. Purple worms. Other one's dead. Let me roll something for something. Okay.
What's her name?
You don't know. Okay, so those are all the enemies. Darius, it's your turn.
Okay. So I came back onto the stairs, right?
Yes, you did. The danger zone has currently grown what was previously just here. The danger zone is now expanded to here, around the entirety of where the dais would have been, because the tree trunk is expanding widthwise.
Okay, so where Vorgana is falling down the wall.
Yeah.
Are there any windows over there?
There's the big ones up top that are all broken. The brick wall along the back is by and large just a brick wall. But I will let you roll a luck roll to see if any of the back wall has pertained enough damage for you to see what's going on outside.
Okay.
Get above a 10, and we'll see if the debris has
With
been
what?
helpful. Just roll a straight up and down d20.
Sorry.
No worry. I believe Organa is currently occupied anyway. I would like to finish this fight.
me too.
You got above a 10? There is a successfully placed hole, and you see a tear roll down Vorgana's face as he starts to fall with his axe in his hand.
Okay. So I'm going to whip out the magic carpet.
Okay.
I'm going to fly through the
Nice.
hole
Mhm.
and catch Vorgana before he hits the ground.
Okay. Is that your full action? What do you remember what the speed of the carpet was? Was it 60 and then doubled to 1? I'll check. 1 second.
Let me see.
Yeah, I don't know. It's not my carpet, so
It's
a
low
used
enough.
carpet,
Yeah.
but it's been really kept up, so it's in good tune and it's a hopped up carpet.
So I said it could fit 4 people on it before, and the flying speed of one that can hold that many people is 60 feet. So, well, you're within the thing. I'm gonna say that's just the movement. It's not a double dash to do it. So that's your movement, and you swoop up and catch Vorgana.
Awesome.
Nice.
So you still have an action and a bonus action, but you're now outside. And the debris around this wall is slightly more crumbly.
Okay, so how many people are left where I could save them by taking them upstairs into the hallway?
Within this building?
Yeah.
Let's see.
They're going out. They're left with Remus and Ramu.
Okay,
They're going out the bottom with the black hooded guy,
I'm gonna say.
and I was
allow-
taking them out the hallway on the right.
Let me do some quick math to justify this in my brain. I was gonna say that it's roughly 1,500 people in total that started out here when the refresh started, including various important NPCs. And then I was gonna say that roughly half of them are just not there or missing, and that's how we got to the 750. I'm gonna say that 500 would fit in this building, but a lot of them have been rushing outside. And there would be if it's split more to outside than inside, then it would be roughly 300 and some outside and 200 and some inside. Of that 200 and some, you've saved 11. Ramu and Remus are working on getting a decent amount out the other way. There's still 100 or so people in here, but some of those people are pushing themselves out. Some of them are going with Ramu and Remus, but actively you could still direct a good chunk of people. However,
Okay.
I'm going to say that of the people you could still direct, roughly a third of those did see or do see the door that you opened before, because some of the NPCs that you said to help are helping.
Okay. So when the big noise, the big boom, boom, boom that drew the attention of the worms, did Darius hear it or feel it?
You can make a perception check retroactively. It would have to be very, very high. I don't think that you would have, because it was less so a sound, because worms don't respond to sound, they respond to the vibrations, and would have been noticing the pattern of the vibrations amidst everything else that's currently shaking the ground. So if you roll a 20 or higher on a retroactive perception check, but otherwise, no. No.
Damn it.
All right.
Did I have Organa with me on the magic carpet, right?
Yes. Currently lost in a memory, but yes.
Did he see the purple worm disappear?
No, he was not a part of that conflict. He saw Greg Nutt land on a mammoth that was a triumvirate member.
Wait, I did or Darius did?
You did. You saw that earlier because you were standing on top of the wall when it happened.
Nice.
So Darius came and caught you.
Yay. I've been saved. But I'm also in I just want to fly. What you want? Put your arms around me, baby. And that's Oliver. No, I'm just kidding.
No.
Okay, so I'm in a quandary. I want to help save Oleron.
Yes. How?
Wait a minute. So can I see Iris now?
No, you're outside of the back of the building. So for reference, let me draw something. Sorry, I know that this is messy. So this blue thing is the actual city center building. Come on, I want it blue, please. There we go. Is like this. So the larger thing that you see over here.
Wait, hold on. My sheet just covering half this thing. Okay. Go.
So the larger blue thing over here is a blown up version of what exists here. So currently you're on the
Gotcha.
back of it, and Iris is among these pink things outside of it. Allow me to draw a not a section cut, the other view creation thing that you know what I'm talking about. Boop, 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 boop. Detail 1. This is too much of an in-joke to be funny to anyone but me and Dad. I'm sorry.
Okay, on detail 1, where's Iris?
Iris would be somewhat past the view range of detail 1, but she would be like out here.
Okay. Is she the red dot?
She's pink.
There's like 1,000 pink dots.
Look at the bigger detail one.
Oh, okay. She's over there. So did she see the worm go under?
You wouldn't know this. You're, since the enemies have had their last turn, the helpful NPCs have not yet had another turn. Her perception checks on her turn weren't very good, so it's likely she'll see it at the start of her next turn because pretty obvious to see a purple worm going underground. But you never know.
So let me ask you this: is the worm totally underground already?
Yes, the one that
Or
swallowed
is this-
Olron. If a worm uses its action to tunnel, it goes fully underground. That's part of its movement/action that it can do. This also means that the ground in the area that Iris and the rest are at is going to be further structurally disabled and turned into straight up and down like jagged rock and tunnel and such.
I might have a plan, Darius.
Okay. Should I land? Should I keep flying? Should I go back inside? What's your plan?
I don't. You want me to tell you my plan?
I think he wants you to tell him his plan.
You don't have a plan.
I do have a plan.
How much of a plan do you have?
It
And don't tell me 12%.
It depends on how much the DM says it will work.
Great.
And if she can answer a few questions for me.
I love plans like that. Darius, what do you want to do with your turn? You have the information that you have, which is you saw
When is my
Morgana.
turn?
Your turn is actually next.
Oh, okay.
So
So I've flown out here and saved Morgana.
mhm.
Do I have any actions left? Can I attack anything?
You have an action and a bonus action. You can, if you do want to double dash on the carpet, you can move the same amount of speed back in, carrying Morgana on the carpet to just get back in here. Or you could cast a spell if you have a spell action, or you could use the rest of the. If you do want to double dash, you could move that many feet up, so you could get a different vantage point, or you could go around. You could cast a spell if there is a spell you want to cast. There's not currently an enemy in sight. There is still the walls around the back of the city that could lead out to the wilds for an alternate proper escape route beyond just outside of the building to outside of the city. There's a number of things that you could do, but positioning for enemies isn't the best right now. And you rolled a really low perception check, so you do not see where other unnamed enemies would have gone.
Okay. I'm sorry. Hold on, Morgana. We're going to go back inside and save some more people. So we
I
fly
go, put your arms around me, baby, and I'm in some kind of trance.
No.
So we fly inside, and I say thaumaturgy. Come on, folks, follow me up here.
And are you going to go in the same hallway again or a different one this time?
Yep, same hallway.
I would like to just grab these two, please. No. I'm just going to redraw the dots. That's a better plan. Or I could draw on a different layer. Like a smart human. Wild. Okay. Boop. There is our Morgana, who is on carpet with Darius. Okay. Go ahead and roll a persuasion check with advantage because of your thaumaturgy.
And that's the third time I did that, right? Thaumaturgy? Persuasion.
Yeah. With advantage. And I will say that since you're not actively leading the charge anymore, people are getting more of a flow to it now, so depending on how well you roll in this persuasion roll, it could be more than 11.
Put your arms around me, baby. I
One more
just want
feeling.
to fly. Fly.
Why didn't it take the advantage? Huh. Why is it such a lag?
Pardon if you can hear me drinking coffee and water.
Come on.
There we go. Okay, so about 20 or so people start to crowd up the steps to go into the room, and you watch them kind of come in under your carpet. So that's another 20 people that I will readily mark off of the list.
Nice.
Yay.
Yay.
Safe.
Mm-hmm.
31 safe so far. Cool.
Mm-hmm. How do I math? Okay. 434. Okay. After Darius, Pam, it's your turn. What would you like to do?
Okay, so answer me this.
Yes.
Okay. One, can I still see the worm?
Which
With
worm?
my dark vision.
In the... Which...
If it tunneled underground and I'm looking in the hole, can I see the worm? So I run over to where it is.
Uh-huh.
Okay. That's my movement.
Yeah, that's fine.
Can I see it as it's tunneling? Because it's obviously not a lot of time has passed.
That's true. Make a perception check.
Okay.
Come on, Pam. Come on.
Okay. It's going very slow for me right now. Hang on. All right.
You definitely see the worm retreating
Nice.
kind of under the ground,
Okay.
20 to 30 feet away from where you stick your head in.
Okay. So I have kind of a crazy question or request or idea.
Yeah?
If I cast banishment, will just the worm go away for a minute while I can rescue Olron and then get out of there?
I don't think that's how it works.
That is an interesting question. I will say if you can succeed on a relatively difficult Arcana check, or not, on a DC 18 Arcana check, because its stomach is already split open, I will say that you can banish just the worm.
Okay, so what do I have to beat?
18. You have to meet or exceed 18.
Come on! Come on! Why is it not working? Okay. Oh!
Oh.
Okay,
Do you want to...
chaos roll.
Okay.
Chaos roll.
Chaos
Chaos roll.
Chaos roll.
Okay.
D6, right?
Just, yes, one quick
Chaos
second.
roll.
That's the wrong thing. I want to make sure that I'm doing the correct one for you. Just 1 second here.
17, are you serious? 17. Alright, I'm coming, buddy.
Okay. Yeah, roll a d6.
Oh.
Your roll becomes a critical failure.
Okay.
No.
Alright. So Oliver roll.
Oliver roll.
What
Oliver
are you
roll.
intending? How are you trying to break the universe with this Oliver roll?
With this Oliver roll, let's see. What if? What if?
Okay.
Okay, so the time that I banished the worm before, right? It did come back.
Because
so
you lost concentration.
Really?
Yeah.
The first time?
Like the very first storm?
It was either because you lost concentration or because
it is native to this plane.
Yeah, Underdark is not another plane of existence. It is a geographical location.
Yes.
Like Conthon.
Sure.
Does that?
No. Conton's a person.
Yeah. Okay. Continue.
Conton's a person.
Yes.
Not a place.
It's so sad.
I just okay. Okay. What do I do? Okay. I'm just trying to save Elrond. Okay.
Can you try Dimension Door?
I mean, how? Could I tell her? Can I teleport myself? Well, I wouldn't be able to teleport it back out.
What would you want your Oliver roll to try to do?
I wanted to do what I'm trying to do. Just banish just the worm.
Okay.
But I feel like I should also ask it to do more. But I don't know what else. Because if I'm going to use it, I want it to be more effective than just this worm. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Whoa.
Please talk monster.
It's okay. Just put together in your brain a sentence that you believe Poncho would think to direct this act of will. Have that sentence, and then tell me if you're relying on the strength of your will, on a piece of hope, on some kind of a memory, on a bond to someone, on curiosity, or on understanding.
Gregnet is home.
Okay.
You're gonna.
Okay.
Great.
Put the
So,
private in your brain.
um,
Think that how it should go.
Darius. So,
Yes.
if I want to use this Oliver roll to just banish the worm, what else should I make it do?
Well, if you're going to use Oliver roll, make it banish all the worm.
That's what I'm thinking, but
Ow. Say in your sentence, I want to banish this worm and all the worms to another plane, knowing that they'll come back in a minute, but I want
but
all the worms in a different plane for at least a minute.
what if I change something else? Like, what if I make the Underdark a different plane of existence so that they stay there? You know what I mean? Like, I can do that, maybe, if I succeed, so that they stay there forever. Because so it's just banished there.
While you continue to consider, I will say that since this is the first void rolls rolled this session, void rolls being constituted of Oliver and Chaos rolls, Vorgana, or actually Veronica. Veronica, are you there?
Put your arms around me, baby.
Since you had that flashback earlier,
Mm-hmm.
you come into a little bit of a deeper understanding of yourself. And mechanically, what that means, Veronica, you get to choose which of the stats you, Veronica, get a +1 in. Previously, you were ascribed to getting a +1 to Oliver rolls, relying on bond. However, because of the successful flashback, you can choose whether you get a +1 to rolls having to do with will, hope, memory, bond, curiosity, or understanding. And I only ask that you make this choice honestly with who you are in mind as Veronica.
I think the biggest one would be understanding.
Okay. From now on, until some other memory changes your mind, you will have your +1 in understanding.
Nice.
With that activated and
Nice.
changed, Pam, how are you trying to bend the void with your Oliver roll?
But now I'm also stuck between wanting to change my banishment spell, like how I changed my locate object spell. You know?
Yes.
Okay.
You can choose to change the spell or to choose the basis of the plane-verse in the universe that you're in. Whichever you'd like to do.
Either one is valid, correct? One
Either one is what?
valid?
They're both valid ideas.
Okay, so I feel like if I say I want to banish all the worms, like, that's probably doable. And if she says, well, if I depend on my roll, maybe I only get to banish one worm. But I just want to save all worms. That's my number one. Okay. Oh gosh. Okay. What do I want to do? 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 So if I make the Underdark a different plane of existence, does that mean that we can't readily access it? But is that necessarily, well, would that be a bad thing? Do good people live in the Underdark? No, we've been to the Underdark. It's all bad people, right?
You're
think-
unsure
That's
of
where
this.
Colon was, right?
You're unsure of this. I will also say, Veronica, remind me later that this changing within you also makes you aware of something else. Pam, continue, please.
What do I do? Okay.
If you make all the worms disappear, Oron's still gonna be under in a hole. Just
Yeah,
saying.
I mean, I feel like I would be able to grab him.
Heal him.
Huh?
Heal him.
Yeah, it just depends on if I can reach him for sure.
Poncho, what would you like to do?
Yes? What do I do? Okay. 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 What are the repercussions of these actions? Okay. If mm,
Shoot for the stars. It's going to come down to your roll.
yeah. Okay. Gosh, this is so much pressure. I can't even think. Okay. Okay. So I mean, this probably does work though, right? Because it's a creature that I can see, and I can't see Ulron, right? So maybe would it work regardless?
Semi-valid argument, however. I
I know
gave
I failed
you...
my Arcana check,
Yeah.
but where did that Arcana check come from? Okay.
It comes from the fact that he's currently in the stomach of this thing, which was split open, making it an 18 and not like a 20. Parts of him are currently being dissolved by parts of the stomach that is within this creature. So,
Okay. Quick. Can I make a quick check about what I know of the Underdark, just real fast?
sure. I will say make a history check.
Okay. Come on. Full 20. All right. Whatever.
Someone in your circus mentioned some old war thing ages ago, but it was boring and dumb.
Okay.
That was probably me.
I guess I'll just say, oh gosh.
Because history and physics go together like oil and water.
Reach spell slot before. Guys, I'm sorry. I'm just really trying to plan this out. Okay.
Would you like me to discuss with Veronica part of what she
Huh?
understands about the void while you still consider, or will that distract you?
I'm sorry. What'd you say? You cut off.
Oh, sorry. Would you like me to continue to explain to Veronica?
I'm sorry. What?
Would you?
She's not cutting out for me.
Yeah, you guys are all cutting out for me.
Yeah.
Hold
I
on,
think
I
it
can
might
type
be.
it out.
Okay, I can hear now.
Okay. Would you like for me to continue to explain to Veronica what more she's come to observe about the void while you
Yes.
continue to okay.
Please.
Veronica, while you reassign this attribute to yourself to give yourself a proper advantage by understanding more about your character, you also realize that this kind of thing within yourself, similar to the little lights that you first felt and saw when you came to this world to identify who your friends were in these strange new bodies. When you adjusted this characteristic about yourself, something about that light in you kind of shifted. almost like a color, and kind of while you're looking with that perceptiveness for a second after thinking and just kind of focusing on Oliver, you realize that it stands as a marker for each of you, but also, like, looking at Pam's right now, and you can kind of tell it's hers almost a little bit by the color and by the fact that it's, like, kind of shifting back and forth, almost like someone passing a baseball between their hands, while everybody else's is kind of stationary. So it's not just a marker of physical location, it's like a point of light, but it's a point that can be moved or shared or perhaps given. And you're not entirely sure what that means, but you think that perhaps eventually you could. And then you settle back into your wood and earth body, which is like a double layer of like, double disassociation. Did all that make sense I just said?
I understood it.
Me too.
Vorgana, can you hear me? Vorgana may be away from the computron.
Okay. I think I'll go with what Daria said about banishing all of the worms, excluding the contents of their stomachs.
Okay.
And making them like, regardless of if it's their home plane or not, they're just gonna wait. So wherever they go, they have to stay. Basically, they're gonna if they.
You're not rewriting the Underdark into a separate plane, but you're rewriting these worms' backgrounds so they do come from a separate plane.
But I don't want to like harm anybody else where they go.
Well, the basis of the banishment spell says that they are banished to a harmless demiplane. Theoretically, if you make that harmless demiplane their home, you're not entirely sure how that would change said harmless demiplane, but theoretically harmless.
Okay, so it says if the target is native to the plane you're on, which they are, you banish to a harmless demiplane. So yes, while there, it's incapacitated. So while there, it's incapacitated, and I want it to stay there incapacitated.
Vincent. If this is what you choose, make your roll. Don't make your roll, Pam, if you would. Or I'm sorry, Poncho, please.
Does that make sense though? So all the worms are banished to a harmless demiplane where they stay incapacitated. And the contents of their stomachs stay here. Which might be gross, but I'm saving maybe a few different people, depending on the worms. Okay?
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm. And how are you rolling this? Did you choose of the stats for...
Please remind me.
You can do this willfully, hopefully, based off of a memory, based off of a bond, based off of curiosity, or based off of understanding. And you are not currently aware, as Poncho, which of those stats you have an advantage in.
Okay. I'm going to say hopefully.
Good guess. Roll 1d6 plus 1.
Can we give her advantage anyway? You said that we could share that light, right?
Well, Veronica knows that. You do not know that. Currently.
Why do you think I don't know it? Why do you think I don't know it?
Veronica's currently AFK.
Yeah.
She's going, put your arms around me, baby. Put me, baby. Only the soothing sound of Greg Nutt's voice can wake me.
Okay. Darius, or rather Ray, does not know this. Dad knows this because Dad has ears and is listening to me talk. But Ray, no.
Okay.
Pam?
What's her name?
Pam, would you like to make your roll 1d6 plus 1?
At this point, I'm hoping that the harmless demiplane just gets a bunch of worm meat to eat. That's what I'm hoping for.
Okay.
And then, okay. D6?
1d6 plus 1, please.
All right, come on, kid.
Oh my gosh, what does that mean?
It's still.
What does it mean?
What does it mean? Okay.
Are you serious? At least banish the Olron worm, please. I save Olron, please. That's all I want.
You hope and hope and hope, and then you blink, and the tunnel before you is empty.
Completely?
Yes.
What?
Oh no.
No. Oh no. What about okay? So no Olron.
Not that you can currently see.
Can I see any other worms?
Do you poke your head back out?
Yeah.
Make a perception check.
Oh my gosh. How do you shush? Come on, roll 20.
Looking over, you do not see another worm.
Where I would have otherwise.
Correct. In fact, even the worm that had previously been killed, you no longer see the corpse. Because there were 3 to start out with.
Okay. I think, because I don't know how well this worked, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to, for my bonus action, I'm going to use Misty Step and go down there where the worm was in case if it comes back so I can get the jump on it.
Okay.
And I pull out my dagger.
Okay. You're keeping concentration on your banishment spell, though?
Yeah.
Okay.
But I'm safe down here, probably. I swear, this was an outcome that I thought about, where the worms would go away and Olron would go away forever. So thank you. If this is what happens, this is my worst nightmare. Thank you.
You rolled a
Iris would
natural.
never forgive me. She would never.
That doesn't mean it's over. It's not over till it's over.
But he's in the worm.
Since you
If
pop,
he's in the
That doesn't mean we can't get him back. The rest of us have all of our rolls.
Since you pop down into the tunnel, you realize that the tunnel this one was starting to create does connect slightly with part of the collapsed area from over the other spot, and a decent amount of water, say to ankle height, is collecting down by your feet, and some of it is like weird tint just from dirt and from beans and from such, but it's not affecting you currently. That is the end of your turn. It is now the turn of all the helpful NPCs. However, technically speaking, until the end of your banishment spell, it would appear that we are out of combat. The other assailant disappeared. He's run away. The helpful NPCs are just kind of going to push their way through the crowd and start to try and collect people. So now it's turned away from violence to just... yeah, basically people kind of pushing around. Okay. I'll say in the minute that Ramu and Remus are able to get a good chunk of people out the side of the main city center, and the man in black and a couple more people in black and some dudes in red are getting people out of the front. The NPCs, Darius, that you aligned are getting more and more people into the hallway. In that other side,
So the guys from the first trip that I said go down the hall and help you other people, did they find a way out?
Would you like to make a proxy investigation check for them?
Sure.
Yeah, go for it.
Is that investigation?
Yeah, you can go ahead and use yours. I'll say since you were their de facto leader momentarily.
So we're out of combat now?
Until Pam's banishment spell wears off, which lasts
So
for
a minute.
yeah.
Uh,
But technically, within that minute, everybody would have gotten a fresh round of action, so everybody can prepare something they want to do kind of at once.
So that means it
Wait,
won't
so
be-
Oron could still come back with the worm?
Sounds like it.
Was I supposed to have advantage or not?
No, but a 20 is still good.
Yay.
So, by proxy, through the people in your spot kind of investigating the spires that these hallways eventually lead to through the offices, the NPC at top right distance saluted you, collects something in his pocket that he wants to show to someone later, and eventually they find a open window a little bit high up, but then people start to take the carpet that was down the main long hallway, and you watch just like this nice red velvet carpet just hanging out of an open window, and some people start to gingerly climb down it.
Cool.
So they're coming out into some yellow water, but that's about par for the course these days.
So the guys down there first, they grab the carpet and pull it out, and it's like a airline slide, huh?
Yeah, pretty much.
Cool.
Within this minute, technically, a minute of this spell is 10 rounds of combat, so y'all can do a bunch of, like, cleanup and sorting of the crowd. Give me an overall kind of organizational thing that you're trying to do. Unless, Vincent, are you thinking of chasing after someone?
Yeah, where's the tiefling? I'm assuming she didn't get banished.
Go ahead and make another perception check.
Dang it. Okay, I'm gonna do my thing where I switch my.
To make it fair, I'll make a fresh stealth check for her. Go for it.
Great. Okay, so yeah, I'm gonna switch my stats. So I'm gonna roll strength or strength. That's how that works. Oh no, yeah. Yes? No? Maybe?
Yes. Go ahead and roll strength.
Okay. Dang it.
Okay. Unfortunately, you're not able to find wherever she went. You don't know if she went underground, you don't know if she went over the walls, you don't know if she's in the wilds, you don't know if she's buried under rubble. Let's see.
But he never even saw her, did he?
No, he did.
Yeah, just for a second now. And then she basically just teleported away.
Well, she rogued away.
Yeah.
Quick second. I'm going to redraw the way that this map changes within the minute. Because it does change pretty drastically. I'm going to kind of clean up the way everything looks. So one quick second. So Pam, as you're just waiting down there for a minute, you hear all kinds of commotion above you. That's people kind of getting into different spaces. Who all is helping to organize the civilians? I assume Darius, Vorgana.
Yes.
Gregnut in some weird way.
Me.
Vorgana. Yeah. Vincent, what are you trying to do? Are you trying to...
Joseph Swanson.
Okay. Firstly, how much longer is my flying spell
runs
gonna
out. It runs out.
Okay, so it's ran out by this.
Mm-hmm. Okay, allow me to redraw this momentarily.
I think I'm just gonna run over to Pam to figure out what's going on.
You're not sure. I don't think you saw her run underground, but you could probably find her within the minute, unless you would want to. Ramu and Remus are going to help by kind of breaking up infighting that was breaking out amongst the various people. You can use all your time to try and find Pam or to help them with that. One quick sec. I'm redrawing this as a larger scene. This is the hole that they made. This is the tower that people are coming down from. This is the outer wall that extends beyond the bestiary and such. Come here. Here's the other edge. And then it's just a bunch of people. So So everybody tell me roughly on this drawing where you want your character to be after the minute. Here's where all the ground got broken up by the purple worms. Out in here. The dark circle used to be around here. Is no longer. All the people are kind of being sorted. You see from amongst the crowd, people kind of fall into patterns of people with the black hoods. Some people with, very few people with the red clothes.
What about the blue?
There's a few blue, not a ton. And then I'm gonna say I'll leave pink for Iris. I'll leave light blue is just a lot of other civilians. Sorry. Imagine the dashes are bigger groups of people. And then
So they're out of the building, which is good.
yeah, within the minute, pretty much everyone is able to get out of the building. Which also during the minute, you kind of watch fully kind of, at least the center portion of it, the kind of outward spires are still standing somewhat. I'm going to leave the... That's Iris. I'll leave pink for the named one. Iris, Kasha, Remus, Ramu, Maud. Maud made it out. Maud would have gone with, like... who else did we have? Remus, Ramu. That guy's with them. That guy's somewhere. That guy's with them. Not seen. Kasha's there. Not at the scene. Bellman struggles around. He's hiding in the civilians. He's not dealing. Actually, I know what Bellman's doing. He's hiding with someone else.
So all our guys are clustered up in those pink ones, right?
The ones that you were aware of being here, yeah. And then you guys, tell me where you want to be on the map. I'll give you your own colors. So, Vincent, where would you be here? I'll make you a full circle.
I think I'd probably go look for...
Okay, so, bright red, I'll make your proper circle. That would put you near... Come on, why does it change the color when I change the shape? Why would I want to do that? Come here. No, bright red. It has to be bright red. Okay. So you're here along with Pam. So you kind of swing down into the hole and see Pam standing in ankle deep water just holding a weapon.
And I fly with Morgana over there by our other Iris, those guys.
Okay, so Darius. You're a square, apparently.
Thank you.
That's not
I'm
intentional.
Darius is a square.
That is the opposite of the tree.
Morgana is there.
Hello, I'm
Green-
here.
Hello.
Put your arms around me, baby. Wait, I'm in Darius.
There's Greg.
Never mind.
You guys are just standing all next to each other. Greg Nutt is also there. I gave him a green square because he's important. Okay.
Who's the black square?
That's dark green. That's Greg Nutt.
Oh, okay.
Hello.
Hello. Do you wanna?
Wait, do that again.
Hello.
I love it.
Okay, so everyone kind of collects. People are chatting amongst themselves and.
Where's Joseph Swanson?
Pam was the last person to make a perception check. With that minute, it will have been 3 rounds since Greg Nutt was on the mammoth.
No.
It's a 1 in 3 chance. 2/3 are in your favor. 1/3 is not.
Nick will never forgive me if I lose Joseph Swanson.
Do you want to roll 1d3? 1 is bad. 2 or 3 is good.
Can I do that again?
Joseph Swanson, no.
Does Gregnet have
Void?
Chaos Roll?
No.
R.I.P. Joseph Joestar Swanson.
Nick will never forgive me.
Now I am the Joseph Swanson.
Should I get Nick
No.
down
The
here
soul Joseph
to
Swanson.
roll?
If you physically go get Nick,
I will. I literally will. Hold on.
he has to come up with some crazy reason as to why that didn't happen.
Nick will be the only one to pull it off.
Yep.
Also, Ashoka. That is also.
He'll just say because he rolled a 20 when he had to. It's not going to change.
Guys, he was so mad at me already.
Aw.
He's mad.
He's coming, I swear.
You
Greg,
lost
I
my
mean,
mammoth.
Ashoka is there.
Your cat, Jersey Swanson. He's speaking.
Okay.
Explain the situation.
Okay, so this big fight has been temporarily brought to an end because Pam banished the worms away with a banishment spell mixed with a couple of void rolls. In the midst of this, I informed Greg Nutt at the time that if Joseph Swanson was left alone for 3 or more rounds, there was a 1 in 3 chance that Joseph Swanson would turn back into the Triumvirate member. The other 2 possibilities were that the mammoth would wander away or that the mammoth would come back towards Greg Nutt. I said that roll a d3, 1 is bad, 2 or 3 is okay. And then a 1 was rolled. Now I require you, Greg Nutt, to convince me as to why you should re-roll this. And just so you're aware, the voices that you're able to hear as Greg Nutt are mine, Darius, and
Joseph.
Maxwell, if I'm correct.
And Morgana.
Not Borgana.
No.
No, we're not on speaking terms.
Do you understand the situation?
He's so mad right now.
I can't believe that is happening.
Can you guys hear?
Yes.
Yeah.
She believe that your sister did very well. Also, we've discovered a long-lost cousin of yours named Donut. And you do have a donut mushed into your empty just eating beans can that you don't know what it
Hello, I'm Donut. I'm eating a donut.
So what do?
Convince her why you should roll again.
Because I wasn't here. Where you see, I bring it. I've done a lot to add to this narrative, including bring upon us this mammoth that I have gracefully named Joseph Swanson. And I think it's only fair that you
What was that, cuz?
right?
What? Can anyone hear him?
He said what?
Yeah.
Can you guys hear him?
Could you come closer to the... We can hear him, but not particularly well. The Greg Nutt
no.
voice is challenging on audio equipment. I'm not sure if you're aware.
Yes.
And also, let me interject. When you were asking where we were, me and Vorgana,
Mm-hmm.
that doesn't mean that Greg Nutt was riding with us. He could have been going back over to the Woolly Mammoth and not with us.
True.
That's true.
I was doing.
Which means that he wasn't alone for 3 runs.
I was not assuming that he was going with you. I was assuming that he was getting pushed around by the frenzied crowd.
I don't get pushed around easily. I'm very
Very.
You can convince me by the retcon or convince me by the donut, but give me a story and then give me a roll.
Take the donut. Take the donut.
Use the donut.
Use the donut. We're donut twins.
This is so stressful.
Come on, cuz you got
I
this.
open a can of beans and I just begin to eat them.
You reach into your can of beans and you pull out a donut that was manifested there by a voice that came to you once you had stuck your head in complete darkness.
Oh, and then you hand a donut to the mammoth. He comes running.
No. But you do eat the donut. Gregnet, how similar are donut properties to bean properties?
They're vastly different.
As I suspected. Would they have double the possibilities of things that could happen, or half the possibilities of things that could happen?
Well, you see, the science behind bean goes like this.
I see. And the science behind donut?
The science behind donut is very complicated in the sense that it quantifies the reality of donut.
Mm-hmm.
I'd have to, there's a whole course you could take on donut logic.
Right, you're less familiar with it.
Oh no, I'm quite familiar with it. You see, my colleague.
Mm-hmm. Your colleague Donut?
No, my colleague. His name is.
His faces.
His name is Sua.
Sua.
Yes.
Okay.
He's a professional donut grower.
I see.
And
So the donuts are fashioned differently than what I know of. Good to know.
Yes, so don't act like you know anything about it.
I'm so sorry to presume.
If Donut were there, he'd be like, no.
Mm-hmm.
That's not what it means.
So you see, in reality, the reason why I should be able to roll again, thank you, Natalie, is because Gregnet, that's me,
Mm-hmm.
I was not fully lucid during this entire thing. I wasn't here, you might say.
I see. So one of the
By
powers...
that,
Yes?
by that I mean, I was being manipulated by people who didn't know what they were doing.
I
Just
see.
because someone else might have been busy and had to go to a certain event that night, everyone else was do this, and everyone's taking advantage of it. Things happen.
So the science of donut is such as this. It is such a hard reset that it forces you to re-roll whatever was last rolled when it's eaten.
No.
Are you certain of that?
You want to say yes?
Is that a question?
Say yes.
Is that a statement?
Yes.
Yes.
One might say with advantage.
Wait, hang on. You know what? No.
One might say with advantage.
With disadvantage. What are you doing? What is this?
Say with advantage.
I'm so scared.
Pardon me, if I may interject.
Go ahead.
I believe that a forced reroll, whether it be advantage, disadvantage, or normal, might be determined by the glaze of a donut, much like the powers of the bean are defined by the colors. So I say that we turn to the expert on donuts, Donut himself, to ask him.
No, Donut is not the expert. Sua is.
Sua.
I'll call it Sua. No, there's a very subtle T before that Sua part. It's Sua.
I understand.
I don't expect you to get it right away. It's
fine. Why don't we ask Sua?
I'll call up Sua right now.
What kind of glaze this donut has?
It's sugar coated. Didn't see that coming a bit.
Wait, is Sua just Greg?
I thought Sua was still donut.
Wait, do you want me to call it Sua right now?
Sua's not donut. Donut's donut.
Okay.
I thought the glaze was the
cheese connoisseur.
I thought the glaze was the advantage glaze.
That's what I'm attempting to determine. What flavor glaze provides advantage, what flavor glaze provides a simple reroll, and what flavor provides disadvantage. Donut, since we cannot seem to...
I can't give you the answer if you call me.
I don't have
I know
anything
what
to
gives
say.
disadvantage. Everyone knows. Everyone
Oh.
who's an actual donut eater knows what gives disadvantage.
Gregnut sounds like he really hates his cousin.
Yeah, stop calling me Sua.
I don't even know who you are, Donut. Or should I?
I'm not even from the
Okay.
sewer.
Wow.
Whatever, Greg. I tried to help you with my donut.
Donut.
I'm trying to
even
give you a reroll. It's not like I gave
Okay.
you a
Oh.
jelly filled.
So it's been established that Sua said that it's sugar coated.
It's not jelly filled, that's for sure.
That makes a lot of sense, Donut. That's why I hate you.
What?
You make
I
too
hate you
much
too.
sense.
Okay.
And then I do like a little
Wow.
heart sign.
Nick, you the person. Are you listening?
He's listening.
Okay.
I can just imagine his face right now.
I'm
Not
going
happy.
to let Cody roll as donut
Oh my gosh.
to see if you get to roll with advantage, disadvantage, or normal. He gets
Oh,
to
Alright,
roll a
give me
d3.
one sec.
Complicated.
Huh?
Why did Nick complicate
Well,
it?
hang on 1 minute.
Ah.
I have
Hey, he got the reroll, so
hang on.
Cody,
Wait.
one
I'm
is
speaking.
1 makes him roll disadvantage, 2 makes him roll normal, 3 is advantage.
So it's a D3?
Yes.
Okay.
Wait a second. Hang on there. Hold
is
your
that
horses.
Swa? What was it?
It was old Minnesota.
Oh,
Is this old man Ashoka?
now hang on before you do your roll thing. I have an idea.
I think this is just some random person who like walked up.
Hey, you shut up. I'll kill you.
Okay. Wow. I'll kill you.
Get over here. Each other first.
Nick
Yes.
is simultaneously
No.
trying to yes and also murder his way out of consequences in D&D. You get a straight up reroll with the D3.
Okay, that's all.
What was it that he got the 2?
What?
Just a
Two-
regular reroll.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, you get a regular reroll.
Here we go. We ready?
No advantage or disadvantage.
I just want everyone to know that whatever happens is what I wanted. That's what I wanted.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the 2 just means that the mammoth has wandered away, but it has not turned back into the triumvirate member. You don't know where it is currently, but it is still a mammoth.
That's okay. They're just following the beans.
Okay.
Or the donuts. How do you know?
Shut up, Donut. You're not a part of this.
Okay, fine.
Gregnut, stop being mean to your cousin.
I'm gonna eat you. I swear it.
I'm only in his
Oh.
brain, so this is Gregnut talking to himself in his brain.
Okay.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Gregnut.
Yeah.
Gregnut has to go
Yeah,
now.
peace out.
Order has been
Oh
restored.
my god. Okay.
Order has been restored. How are you guys? Okay, Pam and Vincent, you are the ones who are aware, or I assume Vincent is made aware of the fact that this sudden peace will end. How are you preparing?
I have my dagger out.
Okay. Vincent, you see this. Do you respond?
Oh. I want to drink a potion of supreme heat. I
Okay.
have one left.
Go for it.
I just like wave my dagger around for wherever it lands. I can hopefully slice it open.
Okay.
Nice.
Nice.
42.
Can you guys holler over at me and tell me what you're doing? So I'm in the loop.
Morgana also wants to, yeah.
You see
I wanna know
Vincent
what's
run
going on.
over and eventually find Pam. Do you guys want to follow him, or do you guys want to stick with your NPCs?
What do you think, Darius?
Well, if they tell me that they're over there looking to get the worm that's ate our buddy, I'd probably go over there.
Yeah.
And
let's
so
do
would, probably so would all our NPCs.
I'm underground, so I can't say anything.
I'll go with
Vincent?
Darius and Vincent.
Can
Yeah.
Can I message Vincent?
It's blocked by more than a inch or foot of stone, so no.
Huh.
I'm assuming that because I ran all the way over there, I wouldn't have time to run back to where the other one.
I don't believe so. You could yell, and if Organa chased after you after just running, you could telephone line it.
Pam, how weak was the
Yeah.
worm that was underground? Do you know?
Wait, what?
How weak was the worm that was in here?
It was sliced open.
What?
Yeah. It was
So it's
slightly sliced open.
So it could use
So
a good
it's-
cloud of daggers.
I mean, I'm under here. Don't forget that.
Wait,
Do
so it's
it.
dead or it's
Send,
not dead?
Send Pam to her
it's
grave.
still alive. It's just
Okay.
Send
sliced
the
open.
worm and Pam to their graves.
Is it like on its last leg, or can we beat it if it comes back?
I mean, I did like 20, almost 30 damage to it, but I don't know how. I don't know.
Because I have an idea, but I don't know if it's a good one.
Can I make some kind of check to see if I know how weak it is?
Make a retroactive nature check to see if you know how health signs or not nature or medicine, to see if you understand the health signs of purple worms.
Okay, I'm for sure doing medicine.
Okay.
Nice.
Roll 20,
I'll
20
say
would
it's a
not
15.
freeze on me.
15
Come on.
DC. So 15 or above is success.
Come on.
Not freeze. Okay. Oh well.
You were too
I
focused
have no
on
idea.
trying to manipulate the universe that you are unsure.
Yeah. Sorry, buddy.
They did it. No, I'm just kidding.
So,
Hello? Okay.
We're here.
Okay,
So-
well, my idea was to use my mask and for you to just leave and me try to take it. But I don't know how weak it is, so
I mean, it like I said, it's sliced open, so I don't know if that helps. You could probably just grab its two little fleshy flaps and rip it open.
Do it.
I don't know.
Sounds amazing.
do you really think it's that weak?
I don't know. Like I said, I did almost 30 damage to it, but we know how strong these worms are.
Yeah, the first one we had to fight was a lot.
I mean, if it's
more.
any indication,
More.
it didn't try to attack me back. It fled. So maybe that's helpful somewhat in some way. Because I expected it to attack me back, but it didn't.
It's because it's a coward,
That is
Organa says.
Wait, are you here?
Wait, am I not there? Oh, never mind.
you're
Okay.
not.
Well, if you chased after Vincent, just from seeing him chase towards this one tunnel, you could be at the edge of the tunnel and like yelling
Okay.
in. And then you could
Yeah.
yell back to Darius that, hey, our other friends are in here.
Yeah, okay, I can do that.
But I mean,
Hey, Darius.
why would we all center around this one hole when there are other
Okay.
worms that might come?
I'm
out?
gonna
Should
run
I
back
start
to
a
the.
timer?
I'm gonna run back to the other worms and fight them with my mask on.
Okay.
That way, you guys can take down this one. It has Oron in it, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we need to get Oran out.
Who knows at this point what the Oliver roll did? But definitely, we have to get the jump on of all the worms that we can.
Okay, I'm gonna start going back towards the other one and try to
Mm-hmm.
get the drop on them.
Yes.
But I cannot move very fast, so
Make an athletics check to try and get there before the minute is up.
okay.
Everybody
I'm
else, yes?
I'm just gonna stay here and plan out some kind of attack.
Okay. Everybody describe to me what action or actions, what attack, what spell you're holding for whatever is about to come back. I will all say that you're at least relatively aware of the situation. Darius, you imagine there's still some kind of enemies about because your kids are running into a tunnel. Vincent is running over to prepare a mask attack on a purple worm that's going to reappear. Vorgana, are you going to be with Pam, or are you going to go be with Vincent, or are you going to be somewhere in the middle?
I'm gonna go fight to save Oran.
Okay,
So I'm
you'll
gonna
be
go
with
with Pam.
Okay.
Yeah.
Have in mind what attacks or spells you want to prepare, and then I'm going to count down to the minute being up. Okay?
Okay. Can I use before we start? Can I use second wind as well to get some extra hit points?
You absolutely may.
Okay.
Okay.
So, how many worms are left?
2. Theoretically.
So,
Wow. Really? I thought there was more than that.
No, they started out with 3 and then 1 died. And then 1 nearly died, but it didn't. And then the other was pretty still okay. Okay.
so Vincent's
10,
going to the one that's still okay.
9, yes, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Wait,
Pam, you and Vorgana jump back against the wall of the tunnel as the purple worm just kind of lands splat in front of you, belly up, big slit down the center.
Nice.
Yay.
Not
Wait.
seeming to move. Vincent,
Bruh. Okay, wait. You go. Sorry, you go.
Vincent, the other purple worm appears right before you and like scatters a decent amount of people from this area. As soon as it appears, everybody tell me what you're doing as soon as these things appear. Vincent, I assume you're attacking right away.
I activate my mask, yeah, and
Okay.
then
Morgana.
attack.
What if we
Yes.
both grab part of the slit and just tear it? Are we that strong?
I mean, can we get to it in time?
We're right
You're
near,
right
aren't we?
there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I'll grab one part of the slit, you grab the other part of the
Okay,
slit.
I have my dagger in my mouth though if I need it. Like I'm holding
Okay.
it in my mouth by the handle.
Okay. Both of you make strength checks. Vincent, you make your attacks.
Oh god.
I know. Are you weak?
You make your attacks at advantage because you got the drop on it suddenly reappearing.
Do I have to make my roll first for the mask?
Oh yeah. Oh, let me poke at that because it's so specific. 1 sec.
It could be stronger,
Wait.
that's certainly.
Oh!
Dang, nice.
Oh,
All
alright,
right.
I'll do the cutting. No, I'm just kidding.
Reroll, Veronica.
Alright, do I use an Oliver roll to do that?
All right.
You can do a
Chaos
chaos
roll.
roll.
So roll a d6 and it'll determine what or how you're able to reroll. What else was I doing? I was looking at something. Purple worms. Yes? Yeah.
You got a 2.
Okay, so a 2, you can reroll with disadvantage.
Oh goodness, okay.
Hopefully it's better than a 5.
Oh, that's what I was doing. I was checking your mechanic for your mask. Okay, 1 sec.
Oh.
Okay, not terrible. All right, it's better than a 5.
Yeah. Kinda. Can I use my Oliver roll to make it that it was a strength 17?
If you really want to, or you can be more specific with the Oliver roll. I will say that
I want to understand how this worm's flesh gets torn. No, I'm just kidding.
You can if you like. Let me know. Vincent, let's go ahead and roll for that first DC. This is the one thing I always forget how we decided to do it.
maybe you could quit trying to pull it open and slice it open with your axe.
Yeah, I kind of think that that's
Like
a
a
great
wedge?
idea.
Like a wedge or something? I mean,
Yeah.
I'm still pulling because I got a natural 20 strength check, so
Yeah.
I'm pulling.
One
Yeah,
question.
kind of like a butcher knife. You know how you just let it glide off the skin?
So I think that at the start of this contest, we decide what each other's, we decide what the DC is for this, and I think that it's, is it low high or high low for you and I, Max? Do you remember?
I think I'm pretty sure that originally said was that it was like the DC to beat the mask was lower, and it got higher to use it more,
Okay.
or
So-
like the more I kept it on.
Like, I think, yeah, it's harder for the mask in the beginning to win than for you to win. So I think you just have to meet a 5 strength, and it would have to beat a 20 wisdom is the way it works. And I think,
5.
because that's
Okay.
that's the way my brain is saying to begin with.
Dang
I know
it.
that those are the same.
I I hate that I remember this, but I used my stat swap.
Oh, right.
So
Okay.
Oh
But it didn't beat a 20, so you just have to beat a 5.
all right. I swapped with wisdom, right? Because it was for a
no!
perception check.
Mm-hmm.
Oh no!
Okay,
All
you're
right.
fine.
Cool.
You're in control of the mask.
But
And you get to make your attacks with advantage because you got the jump on the worm from being prepared with damage.
yes. All right.
Vorgana, do you
So I
actually
just-
want to use an Oliver roll? And
Wait, can I
I'm
just
start
ask how
attacking.
much my natural?
Use your axe. Use your axe.
I want to
Use your
use my
axe.
axe.
okay.
I was already thinking it before Darius said it, so
Okay.
it counts.
Okay. Vincent, go ahead
Thank
and
you,
roll your
Darius,
third
though.
attack. 2 of those
Okay.
attacks hit Vincent. Go ahead and roll for your damage, including your extra mask damage. Pam, you're able to fully rip open your side of the worm, and Vorgana, you're so taken aback by that when you see what tumbles out that you just kind of stumble back and pull a little bit of skin off as you go on accident. As you pull open the body of the worm, a decent amount of acid spills out onto the floor, as well as some odd kind of lumpy, chalky looking things.
What? So it's not Oron?
Make a medicine check.
Okay.
Vincent,
We
go
both
ahead.
make
Goodness.
medicine checks?
Yeah,
Yes, go
my
for it.
medicine is not good.
My strength wasn't good, and I got a natural
Ooh,
20.
16.
Okay.
Not bad.
Everything's frozen. Sorry.
No worry. Do you need me to roll for you? Okay. So, Vorgana, you're still
Nice.
taken aback. You can immediately tell these are some kind of remains within this thing. Pam, because you're so desperate for this, you just like reach in and almost get your head inside of this thing. Part of what must have happened when you made that roll is that the demi-plane or plane that it got sent to, even though it wasn't its new home plane or it wasn't there permanently, it was not a harmless plane. It was a different kind of planar shift that happened, because the further that you look up into this worm, there's more damage done to it on the inside as well, and you think whatever plane it shifted to, it may have shifted somebody else inside of it, but these are definitely like partially decomposed, calcified bits of bone. The further that you look up in there, you can see part of a skull, but it doesn't... You got a natural 20. You cannot be 100% sure it isn't Ulron, but you're also not 100% sure that it is. Something about the remains of the skull, which is just kind of like the upper third of the cranium and the top of the eye, looks different than how you would know an elven skull to be. So you're worried, but you're not for sure. However, Ulron is not here. So
Organa's ready to slice it open.
go ahead and do so at your leisure. More
Cut
acid
it in half.
and weirdly warm liquid will pull out. So you did 26 and 29 damage to this guy.
Wait, I forgot how to attack, but I can wait.
You attacked?
Yeah, how I attack with my warhammer.
You just click on your warhammer, and it
Okay.
should go ahead and... I mean, it's already... This creature's not moving.
Okay.
You can just hack it up.
Sweet.
You can take home as many purple worm bits as you want.
Bye bye.
Okay. Okay, Vincent, you do a full and proper 55 points of damage to this thing. Good job. You feel like a weird growl come through your throat. Okay.
Did you name your Warhammer?
Yeah, it's Charles.
Okay.
And then I think whenever I hack something, I'm like, Charles in charge of our days and our
And then
nights.
while he's singing, chopping up this worm, I'm just like on my knees, just like, what have I done? I'm just like mortified, and you're just
Aw.
da, 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 da.
Yep.
This version though, it's actually more like Charles in charge, and it's like rock music, and I'm just like pissed off, like you killed my friend.
Oh no.
Oh,
Okay.
Ron doesn't even know who I am.
Oh.
Vincent.
Wait, real quick, is there like an order to this now, or are we out of combat?
Everybody kind of gets a surprise round on the worms since they're just coming back. So Vincent got his, you guys got yours. A couple of the NPCs are gonna see this purple worm come back. It's coming back roughly on the side where the people with fancy coats came in. So one of the red coats and one of the black coats is gonna absolutely attack this thing the same way that Vincent did, because they are not
Hooray.
happy either. So Vincent, you hear, "Get out of my way," and you see a very bruised and torn up looking Bruno pull out a great axe, and he's going to take his
Oh,
Bruno
snap.
the sheriff?
yeah,
Yeah.
the head guard guy.
Oh, be damned.
Oh,
Okay.
He's going to
the commissioner? I forgot what it was called.
The sheriff, the commissioner.
the guy you didn't like, who has authority.
Yes, exactly.
He's going to enter into a rage. He's going to attack again at advantage because it's a surprise round on this guy. How many attack actions do you get per turn, buddy? He's a
Should tell him. Told you it wasn't that lady.
True.
I think it's 2 attacks and then he can frenzy and get a third. So,
Nice.
and then he'll frenzy for his third. So 2 of those hit, and then he gets a +4. So 9. So he does 23 damage on this guy. Where is that calculator? I have too many things open. Surprising no one. And he's literally like foaming at the mouth.
Good job, Bruno.
I think I want to use my. I think deactivating the mask is a bonus action, right?
Correct.
I think I'm just gonna deactivate it now that I have backup.
Okay. Also coming up from behind is gonna be the dude in black that showed up. And he's actually just gonna stay hidden amongst the crowd, and he's gonna get sneak attack damage on this guy.
Oh snap!
Because he already gets advantage, and he's hidden because they're, he's engaged with its current enemies, so that's at advantage. That definitely hits. How many? So he's a. Okay, that hits. Okay. He gets another attack. Okay, both hit. The first one has sneak attack damage.
Dang.
D4 plus 5, and then roll.
He is attacking the worm, right?
He is attacking the worm.
Okay. Just had to be.
And then the other was another dagger. As the daggers flash into the worm side, you see that they're like really pretty ceremonial daggers, like he wore them special for this day, and now he's just throwing them at a worm. Okay. Where is that? There it is. So that's 36 plus 7 is 42. That's another 42 damage. The worm is still going.
Jeez.
How about a cloud of daggers?
How about a cloud of daggers? Do you want to cast that spell over at the worm, Dad? That you could have had that prepared, so you can absolutely do that. Go for it.
Okay, so I want to cast cloud of daggers at a 5th level.
5th level. Okay.
Yep.
Let me double check everything for that. 5th level. 44 slashing damage. Doesn't get a save. So how many
Dang.
d4s does it get? 2d4 extra for every slot above 2nd. So 3rd, 4th, 5th. That's an extra 6d4. So that is 10d4 slashing damage. Go ahead and roll 10d4 slashing damage, Dad. Everybody's real mad at these purple worms. In case you couldn't.
Understandably so.
Indeed.
What other allies would try to take a hit?
What the heck?
You're in Discord.
Oh, yeah.
Bring
That's,
it.
Noise.
that's
Dang.
another 30 damage. Slowly chipping this guy down. He's looking worse and worse. Ramu sees you do that and steps up next to you, Darius, and kind of rolls his shoulders and goes, allow me. And he pulls up and goes in front of you and literally just... and he's going to use his breath weapon.
Hey.
There's no way that the dex save is going to work, so that's 5d6. Damage. So that's 16, not bad.
Look at that. 1, 2, 3, 5. Those 10d perfect for us.
So he got one. He got one. Remus is just gonna try to shoot him with an arrow. Does not hit. That's fine. Maud is gonna send a firebolt at it. Little other wizard can't do much. You gonna beat? Nope. She goes very wide.
Oh.
Let's see. Kasha's also gonna get a sneak attack dagger on it. This is what happens when you got a rogues guild in town.
This worm is just getting lit up.
Yay, management did something!
Neither of
But
those
also-
hit. And Iris is distracted.
Can I use my chaos roll to reroll the attack that I had done that missed?
The one that you missed? If you want, go ahead and roll a d6. You may re-roll.
Does it still have advantage because
I
it
don't
did originally?
believe so.
Okay, that's fine. Well, yeah, I guess that makes sense because of the nature of the.
Yeah.
All right.
So it's AC 15. Go for it.
Wait.
Are you gonna turn your mask back on?
No, but I can use one of my superiority die to make it a fainting attack, which means I get advantage anyway.
Okay.
Can I do that?
Well, it's not a new attack. It's just re-rolling the roll of the old attack. Which, I mean, technically,
True.
it would mean that your mask was still activated when you were doing it. So just re-roll it for me.
Okay. Come on.
That definitely
Yes.
hits. Go ahead and roll your damage, even with including your mask damage.
Okay.
Okay, that's another 16. I believe that's all the helpful NPCs that are able to do something right now, as well as you guys utilizing the full ability of your stuff. Ashoka needs melee range, and he's not getting near that worm. Gregnut, similarly, no. After that, because you guys all got the surprise round, now we can re-roll initiative. But, in all honesty, I think it's just the purple worm is going to go next, and it's going to try and roll to decide who... You know what? No, I'm going to roll another intelligence check. 10 or above, it is smart. 10 or 9 or below, it is not. It's not. It's going to try to attack someone. Who's it going to try to attack? It's close to Bruno. It's close to... It's going to decide whether to attack one of the people in black, red, or blue. One of the people in black. It's going to dive headfirst into the crowd of people who'd gathered back up from the Rogues Guild.
Can I use
So he's going to move through the cloud of daggers again, right?
he does start his turn in the cloud of daggers. Yeah, go ahead and roll your 10d4 damage.
Smart, Darius.
Yes.
This is why you're the wizard, and I'm not. No.
What were you gonna do, Max?
Oh, I was gonna say use my
Reaction?
protection and fighting. Yeah,
Okay.
to try to
Disadvantage
impose
on whoever is attacking.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's
Nice.
another 17 damage from the cloud of daggers as it starts its turn on it. You're whittling it down, guys. You're doing pretty good. So this is gonna be with disadvantage. Oh, Boise. Still gonna hit. It goes for one
Dang
of the. Make a quick perception check to see if you recognize anyone in this crowd of people with black clothes. Nope.
No.
It's going to. I'm not even gonna do the damage for that person. I'm gonna see if they make the save to not get swallowed. No. But it's gonna use a stinger attack on someone else in that crowd. That will also hit. So someone gets swallowed and someone else gets stung and falls over. But that's the end of the purple worm's turn. It is the only enemy unless people decide to start infighting again. Which there are some people kind of murmuring on this side, in the big cloud of light blue. But I will say everyone who attacked the purple worm, it's just everyone versus this one villain right now. So everyone go for it again. It's not an advantage, but you can do stuff. Pam and Vorgana, you can decide to leave the hole if you would like, or you can stay down there, whichever you prefer.
While Vorgana's still chopping away at this worm,
With
I'm
the
gonna just in my state. I'm just gonna cast locate. Because remember when I updated my locate object spell to locate per person anywhere?
Mm-hmm.
That was once a day, right?
Yeah.
I'm gonna do.
Okay. Did that include alternate planes?
I think it was anywhere. I don't think we specified. It was literally just anywhere.
Literally just anywhere. Do you remember the duration?
No, I don't remember.
Okay, so that's another 26 because you cloud.
Okay, sorry.
No worry.
I can't remember the specifics of it though. But it's a second level spell.
Second level spell. If you look up, okay. I will say make either plane or verse, a religion or arcana check to see if not whether the spell can do it, but whether you can perceive that far to utilize it to that extent. Sound fair?
Which one? Arcana or
religion.
So there's a bunch of people around, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, one of the people from within the cloud of black is also shooting at him, which did 37 after you did your 26 with your cloud of daggers.
Okay, so my cloud of daggers was just there. I haven't attacked yet, right?
True. However, since everybody was going at the same time, since you were all fighting the same person again, your cloud of daggers shifted to encompass the worm in it again, did that damage, and then a final dagger, a final like sleek black ornamental dagger, shing, into its mouth, and the worm onto the ground, and people immediately start to get around the worm to try and pull the person out who got swallowed. Pam,
and they pull Olron out.
No. Pam, for the briefest moment, you feel
I tried, guys.
a blip of recognition somewhere far, far off in more ways than one.
Nothing specific?
It feels as though you know that feeling that you get when you remember a place, but you're not sure if you remember being the place because you've been there, seen it, or just considered it conceptually, you recognize the place in that manner. And it's weird. And you don't like it. But that is where the blip occurs for the briefest
I want to use my
moment.
Oliver roll to appear by Olron, wherever he is.
Do you really and truly wish to do that?
Yes.
What is wrong with you? Did you see? You did not see the condition that this worm was in.
If you want to do that,
Don't we have to save Olron?
Yes.
When you sense him, is he still alive?
I don't know. I can't tell.
are you going to do
Well,
this?
would you be able to sense him if he was dead?
I don't think that's for me to decide.
I want to travel to him and then him immediately come back with Olron.
Are you doing this? I'm going to tell you right now, this will be difficult to complete in full as you have described. However, of course, you may try. Are you doing this
Hello?
willfully? Hopefully?
Hello?
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 Hello.
Hello? Can you hear us?
I can hear, I think.
Oh, can you hear us?
Yes, you're good.
Okay. All right.
So if Pancho just banishes Max, is that right?
No.
Or whoever the heck it is, won't he
That's
go
not,
to the same plane?
that's not how that works.
Plus, I'm all out of banishment for today.
If you want to do this, tell me if you're rolling willfully, hopefully, based on some kind of memory, based on a bond, based on curiosity, or based on understanding.
Willfully.
Roll 1d6 plus 1.
I will literally. If I was there, I would slap you so hard.
I
This
have to
worm
say
basically
Olron.
came to us dead already.
I'm gonna say because you're trying to teleport to another place, you do it with your sword like you had wanted to before.
Yes.
You kind of swing it around in an arc and just slice reality open in front of you for a second.
Nice.
You know, kind of while everyone is caught up in the mess of. Roll a stealth check for me, actually, to see whether or not NPCs see this.
It's like, how did you
Stealth.
know?
Well, I mean, I'm gonna say right now I'm probably not trying to hide it,
Okay.
but I am trying to do it quick enough that no one can stop me. Or I can just make a stealth check, cause if it's easier.
I'm considering you could. Okay, you don't have to.
Okay.
You slice open a rift in the reality of this universe for a moment, and you register that the other side is warm and smells acrid, and you step through, and the portal closes behind you, and I want you to make a perception check as you look around to where you've gotten yourself to.
Okay. Hey.
Ooh, the one good perception check.
I'm very aware that I'm gonna die in 2 seconds.
You are standing in a cell, and even standing there, the skin of your feet starts to crisp and burn because the rock that you stand on is burning from beneath, even though you see no fire. There is visible the air is like shaking in front of you because of the heat of this place. You look around and you can see that the bars of this cage aren't even really bars. They're like they're almost like a wire netting of a fence, but much thicker and shinier. And in a pile in the corner, you see with a much longer beard than he has any right to have, and many more wrinkles than when you last saw him, and much worse off clothes that have clearly been burned in places and changed. A very confused Olron the Ever-Present.
I run to him immediately and grab him, and then I cut. Oh.
He hides. He like cowers in the corner, and like does not acknowledge you aside from.
I don't care. I try to grab him anyway and try to pull.
He is not in a current position to really fight you off all that much, so you're able to grab hold of him. However, the portal is not there.
I tried to cut open another portal.
You swing your sword through the air, and you can actually see it's so dense and humid down here. It's like everything you're staring at feels a little bit illusory, like you're staring at a mirage in a desert. You kind of almost see it for a second, and then it immediately fades away as soon as you actually reach out towards it. Even the hilt of your sword in your hand starts to feel like it's heating up a little bit, and you feel like your mask is not a comfort object, but you almost feel the impulse to like reach for it as though it is. Darius, make a perception check. Please get a 15 or above.
Why is this thing so laggy?
I know, -2.
Come on. Come on. Finally. Come on.
The suspense is killing me.
Do you need me to roll it for you?
No, I'm clicking on the damn thing. It finally showed up.
Okay.
Whisper, public roll, submit. Submit, damn you, I command you.
I didn't see a roll come through on my side. Did anybody see one?
I do not see one.
It's very slow.
Okay. Are you sure you wouldn't like me to roll for you, Darius? I don't know
Sure,
what's
go
going
ahead.
on. Okay. Let's see if it's any.
Oh, it just disappeared.
Shall we?
Let's use the last one.
The
The last one.
Does that seem fair?
Yes, it does.
Fine. You see Vincent step through a portal that he creates. You see people see this, and amidst the crowd of people who have already been injured, you'd see a handful of them like crumple to the ground with blood coming from their nose, their eyes, their ears.
Uh-oh.
One person in particular, you kind of glance around towards the crowd of civilians. You see a woman in a like long black gown who seems to have fared a little bit better than the rest of the people here. She's surrounded by a few younger like children. She seems to have caught notice, and her eyes are wide, and like she pushes her lips together, and a second later you know, it's like she's bitten through part of her own lip. And then a a bird person in dark blue who looks very, very badly injured already, glances over at just the wrong time and kind of collapses onto the ground, and the rest of the people in blue coats kind of crowd around him and going, raise, raise. And with the refresh ended but something very, very different started, I do believe that is where we're gonna end tonight's session.
Dun, dun, dun.
Oh my gosh.
So did you guys have fun?
Yes.
No, that was miserable. Oh my god, what have I done?
You did your best. And you haven't talked to Iris yet.
Oh my god. I can't talk to Iris now. She's gonna hate me.
Is it too late to do something uncharacteristic of Vincent and try to pray to the gods to bring him back there somehow?
You can start out with that next time.
All right.
Okay.
You can also use another Oliver roll next time.
True.
Well, what about my Oliver roll?
I don't know. You never elected to use it.
Well, now that I saw the portal that what's his name made.
Well, we'll
Is
see
it-
what happens.
Okay. Well, darlings and dears, I love you all very much. Does everyone want to do their very special sign off?
Of course.
Yes.
All right.
All right.
In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
And
that's
just
how
we
roll.
My dad just watched me do that and he's laughing.
Good night, everybody. We love you.
Good night, everyone. See you next time.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
We love you. Thanks for
See ya.
watching.